Which? So we're reading from Ramayana. This is a translation by His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, based on the book written by Valmiki, Srila Valmiki. This is kind of a summarized version we are reading from. So now we are in Sundarakanda. I think many of the devotees, they read Sundarakanda on a regular basis, especially those who are very fond of pastimes of Hanuman and Ramayana. So I'm starting from the page number 281. Feeling overjoyed at his discovery, Hanuman rejoiced like a monkey by slapping his arms, jumping for joy, kissing his tail and climbing up and down the palace pillars. However, after a moment's consideration, Hanuman concluded, "This cannot be Sita. It must be someone else. Sita would not be able to even eat or sleep in separation from Ram. Nor would she decorate herself nicely or accept the association of another male, even if he were the king of heaven. Indeed, in comparison to Ram, what are the demigods? What to speak of a wicked Rakshasa like Ravana?" Thereafter, Hanuman continued his search, wandering from room to room throughout the rest of Ravana's palace. He saw thousands of moon-faced women sleeping amidst vessels containing huge quantities of meat and wine, along with drinking glasses that were scattered about. Hanuman had to observe all these women very closely while searching for Sita, and thus began to have misgivings. Hanuman thought to himself, "Perhaps I have violated religious principles by gazing upon the wives of others, sleeping in a state of undress. What will be my destination?" However, after some consideration, Hanuman concluded it is the motive that determines if an act is virtuous or sinful. While gazing upon these women, I have remained pure in mind, for my only concern is to find Sita. Since I am looking for a woman, where else can I search except among women? I am only doing this in service of Lord Ram. Therefore, my looking upon others' wives cannot be sinful. When Hanuman had completed his search of Ravan's palace without finding a trace of Sita, he concluded that she must no longer be alive. Hanuman became saddened at heart. He wondered what he would tell the other monkeys who were anxiously awaiting his return. However, Hanuman fought his depression by reminding himself that unwavering determination is the only cause of success. Still hoping for the best, he continued to search the places that remained uncovered. We are reading from 280 page, 282, second paragraph. But after scouring Lanka again and again, Hanuman became completely disheartened. Although Sampati had assured him that Sita was in Lanka, Hanuman could not find her anywhere. He began to speculate about what might have happened. Perhaps Sita died out of fear while being carried to Lanka by Ravana. Perhaps he dropped her out of fear of Rama. Sita might have wriggled free and fallen into the ocean. Or perhaps Ravana devoured her when she refused to become his consort. Hanuman's thoughts then turned to the disastrous results that would ensue if he were to return to Ram and report his failure. Without Sita, Ram will surely give up his life and Lakshman will follow suit. When Bharata and Shatrughna hear that Rama and Lakshmana have died, they will also end their lives. With all four sons gone, the three mothers will certainly wither away and die. Because of their failure, Sugriva, Angada, and the other monkeys will give up their lives out of shame. Therefore, I must not return to Kishkinda. Either I will commit suicide or live out the rest of my life as a recluse. As Hanuman struggled to emerge from these gloomy thoughts, he considered, maybe I should kill Ravana or drag him back to Rama so that he can be offered as a human sacrifice to Lord Shiva. Seated upon one of Lanka's high defense walls, Hanuman suddenly spied a large grove of Ashoka trees on the outskirts of town that he had not yet explored. Hanuman resolved to continue his search. He first offered his obeisances to Rama, Lakshmana, and the principal demigods. Then he leapt from the defensive wall into the Ashoka grove. Hanuman roamed about within the grove for some time and then climbed a tall tree to gain a better view. From the treetop, Hanuman could see a mountain stream cascading down into a nearby lotus pond. Surrounded by flowering trees, this idyllic garden seemed the perfect place for Sita. Hanuman decided to remain stationed in the treetop in the hope that Sita would come there to take her morning bath and perform her devotional duties. Gazing in another direction, Hanuman sighted a lofty temple supported by 1,000 pillars and situated within a nearby garden. In front of the temple sat a woman dressed in a single, dirty, worn-out, fine yellow cloth. She appeared emaciated from fasting, and because of her anguish, she sighed heavily again and again. Although her face was wet with tears, displaying her anxiety and exhaustion, she nonetheless shone with a divine radiance. Looking like a smoke-covered fire, she was surrounded by many Rakshasas. Hanuman recognized her to be the woman he saw earlier being carried away by Ravana. Likewise, he detected that the ornaments she wore matched the description of those given by Rama. Hanuman gazed at the woman's full moon face, her graceful eyebrows, her full breasts, her bright red lips, her slender waist, her lotus petal eyes, her delicate symmetrical limbs, and concluded that she must be Sita. Although as loved as the goddess of love, she sat upon the ground like an ascetic practicing penances. Appearing most glorious, she suffered acute anguish and thus appeared like a sacred text misinterpreted, like wealth squandered, like faith shattered, like hope frustrated, like ideals impeded, like intellect corrupted, or like fame blackened. Hanuman thought, this is the woman whom Ram loves and for whom he suffers, sometimes feeling pity, sometimes tenderness, and sometimes grief. Pity for the dear one whom he failed to protect, tenderness for the woman who is solely dependent upon him, and grief at suddenly losing his beloved wife. Sita's grace and beauty resemble that of Rama. She is suddenly worth the trouble of jumping over to Lanka and killing all the Rakshasas. Indeed, if Sita were placed on one side of a scale and the sovereignty of the three worlds on the other side, the latter would not measure even a fraction of her worth. It is painful to see how she suffers at the hands of Ravana. Still, I know that because of remaining absorbed in thoughts of Rama, she cannot perceive her external suffering. The moon rose to help Hanuman observe Sita and the dangerous Rakshasas guarding her. Some of these Rakshasas had only one eye or ear. One had ears all over her body, and another had a nose in the middle of her forehead. Some were bald, and some were dwarfs. Some were hunchbacks, and some had lips that hung down to their chins. Some had heads that resembled boars, deer, camels, tigers, or horses. Others had only a single hand or foot. Other Rakshasas had heads that were sunk into their bodies, like Kavandha, and most had meat and blood smeared over their bodies. Hanuman wept tears of joy in finding Sita. Remaining concealed atop the Ashoka tree, he watched her as the night passed away. Ravana was awakened before dawn by the singing of the birds, who praised his glories to the accompaniment of musical instruments. As he arose, Ravana began to think of Sita, for he was irresistibly drawn to her. Unable to suppress his sensual longing for the princess of Videha, Ravana set out for the Ashoka grove, accompanied by 100 beautiful women carrying golden lamps, chamaras, cushions, water, and other paraphernalia. Still under the influence of the previous night's intoxication, Ravana staggered along, followed by the lovely ladies, who appeared to be like flashes of lightning behind a cloud. When Hanuman saw Ravana approach, he concealed himself behind a cluster of leafy branches. When Sita saw Ravana coming, she covered her body as best she could. Then, trembling violently, she sat down and wept. As Sita sat upon the bare ground, she swayed back and forth like a frail boat tossing upon a stormy ocean. In her wretched condition, Sita appeared to be like an understanding that had become dim, hope that had been frustrated, an order flouted, or a sacred altar that had been desecrated. She was like a full moon in eclipse, an army that had been routed, or a stream dried up from drought. She was like a pond whose lotuses had been uprooted, an extinguished flame, or birds fleeing from fright. Sita's body had become emaciated and her mind depressed from her fasting and grief. Ravana came before Sita and began speaking in the hope of seducing her. O most fair and beautiful lady, why do you cover your shapely breasts and thin waist? O large-eyed beauty, I am afflicted with love for you, so please give up your shyness. Favor me, my beloved, and fulfill my unbearable longing to have you. It has always been the custom of Rakshasas to carry away or rape the wives of others. However, I shall not touch you as long as you do not voluntarily agree to have me in return. O lovely goddess, why are you lying upon the bare ground? Why do you wear dirty clothes and fast for no reason? Why do you tie your hair in a single braid and constantly sit brooding? Such behavior doesn't suit a ravishing princess like you. Become my queen and enjoy royal opulence beyond compare within the three worlds. You will have only the best garlands, sandalwood paste, perfumes, and ornaments. You shall eat the finest foods, drink the most ambrosial beverages, lie upon the most luxurious couches, and revel with music, singing, and dancing. O most lovely lady, youth quickly passes. Therefore, your stubbornness is folly. You have the loveliest face, fairer than the moon, and your bodily features are the perfection of artistic workmanship. Become my beloved, and in return, I shall do anything for your pleasure. If you like, I shall conquer the entire earth and present it as a gift to your father, King Janaka. Who can dare to defy me? O Sita, after seeing you, I have become so enamored that I can no longer find pleasure in any of my wives, not even Mandodari. Why do you insist upon remaining faithful to Rama, a mere human being, a straw in the street in comparison to me? I doubt whether Rama still lives. Even if he does, you may rest assured you will never see him again. Sita placed a straw between herself and Ravana as a symbol of her unwillingness to contact him directly. She gently replied, You should withdraw your mind from me and remain contented with the consorts you already possess. You will never be able to possess me, just as a sinful man fails to achieve perfection. I was born in a noble family and married according to religious principles. I will never act contrary to the tenets of righteousness. There is no hope of your gaining my favor. Turning her back to Ravana, Sita continued, Because you are acting perversely, directing yourself away from the path of virtue, you will become the cause for the destruction of your entire kingdom. Why not follow the example of good men who protect their wives and the wives of others? The fool who is dissatisfied with his own wife and seeks pleasure with the wives of others is doomed. Why do you ignore the advice of the wise and reject that which is good? Why are you determined to cause the destruction of all the Rakshasas? Do you not know that everyone rejoices at the destruction of wicked persons? I will never be tempered by your offers of insignificant opulence and royal comforts. I am as inseparable from Rama as sunlight is from the sun. The only way that you can save yourself from Rama's wrath is to voluntarily deliver me back to him. You should try to make friendship with him, for he is very merciful to those who take shelter of him. Otherwise, it will not be long before Rama and Lakshmana come here and suck out your life breath with their arrows. You shall never escape Rama's vengeance, even though you may be capable of saving yourself from Indra's thunderbolt. It is only a matter of time before Rama finds you out and kills you for your wickedness. Ravana retorted, "Generally, the more courteously a man treats a woman, the more agreeably she responds to him. In your case, however, the opposite holds true. I should kill you for your harsh words. You are fortunate, however, because my love for you controls my anger like a charioteer that curbs unruly steeds. Love acts strangely, for the more a beloved mistreats a lover, the more he showers her with affection. It is for this reason alone that I do not kill you, although death and dishonor are what you deserve. Already 10 months of your 1 year grace period have passed. Thus I shall wait only 2 more months. Then if you still refuse to reciprocate my love, I shall have you chopped to pieces by my cooks and served for my breakfast." Several of Ravana's consorts that had been forcibly abducted by him were also present there, and upon hearing his threats, they felt sympathetic towards Sita. As Ravana prepared to depart, they briefly comforted Sita, their compassionate words giving Sita some small reassurance. Thus feeling encouraged, Sita again rebuked Ravana, saying, "You cannot have a single well-wisher within your kingdom, for no one has tried to deter you from this ignoble act which is meant for your destruction. Rama is like a mighty elephant, and you are a tiny rabbit. You can speak boldly only while Rama is out of sight. I could reduce you to ashes myself by utilizing my mystic power, but I refrain from doing so because I have not received such an order from Rama. You are a fool, for it is impossible to kidnap the wife of Lord Rama. You have only been able to do so because this is the device Providence has chosen to have me as the instrumental cause of your death." Struck by the sharp words, Ravana hissed like a serpent and gazed at Sita with angry, bloodshot eyes. "I will kill you this very day," Ravana bellowed. Then addressing the Rakshashis who guarded Sita, he said, "You must make Sita submit to me by any means possible, whether conciliation, gifts, or force." Ravana turned menacingly towards Sita, and it appeared he might suddenly become violent. However, Mandodari, who had come with Ravana's youngest consort, Dhanyamalini, embraced her husband, saying, "Come back to your palace and enjoy with us. Forget about this pale, emaciated Sita. When a man desires to enjoy a woman who doesn't love him, he only suffers. However, when the woman loves him in return, he enjoys extreme delight." Ravana was thus dissuaded from further abusing Sita. Laughing conceitedly, he returned to his palace. The hideous Rakshasi guards then approached Sita and began to threaten her in harsh, angry voices. One Rakshasi said, "You should give up your false pride and accept Ravana, for he is a very exalted personality. You should know that one of Lord Brahma's mentally conceived son was Pulastya, whose mentally conceived son was Vishrava whose one is Ravana. Do not hesitate to accept the king of the Rakshasas, thinking him unworthy of you. If you remain adamant, it will certainly result in your destruction." Another Rakshasi said, "You are a fool for refusing to become Ravana's queen. Don't you know that at his command the trees scatter flowers and the clouds release torrents of rain? The sun doesn't shine and the wind refuses to blow if they displease Ravana. Oh, sweet smiling goddess, listen to our advice, or else face a horrible death. Sita, however, calmly replied, You can devour me. You can devour me if you like. I shall never submit to Ravana. Finding Sita unbending, the Rakshasas picked up spears, axes, and knives, threatening Sita as they circled around her. One shouted, you are young, soft, and tender. I shall devour your heart, liver, and spleen this very moment if you do not submit to Ravana. Others exclaimed, I shall eat you, eat up your rosy red cheeks. I will sever your succulent thighs. I will drink your hot blood. Then another Rakshasi interrupted, I hate squabbling. Let's chop her up and divide her into equal morsels. Order wine to be brought. Let us feast upon her flesh and dance before the goddess Bhadrakali. Sita could no longer bear their ghastly remarks and burst into tears. Trembling violently with fear, she cried out, O Rama, O Lakshmana. Sita lamented, Why doesn't Ram come here to save me? Perhaps he doesn't know where I am. Maybe he was already died from feelings of separation and is now residing in heaven. Perhaps Ravana was somehow able to kill him by means of some sinister trick. Oh, when will Ram come to take me back to Ayodhya after destroying all these Rakshasas? Why am I so unfortunate that I cannot give up my life at once? If only I could die, for death could surely be better than this unbearable misery. While the Rakshasas were attempting to intimidate Sita, one elderly woman named Trijata suddenly awoke from a deep slumber. Trijata approached the other Rakshasas and prudently spoke as follows. You wretches, how can you dare torment Sita like this? You shall never be able to devour her. I shall now tell you why. I have just had an incredibly vivid dream wherein I saw Ram come here to rescue Sita and slaying all the Rakshasas. When the other Rakshasas begged her to describe her dream in detail, Trijata continued, I saw Ram and Lakshmana dressed all in white and wearing white garlands. They were soaring through the air in a white celestial chariot drawn by 1,000 white horses. Then the scene changed and I saw Ram seated upon a gigantic four-tusked elephant dressed all in white. Sita too was dressed in white and was standing up on a wide mountain in the middle of the sea. When Ram came nearby, Sita mounted the elephant and became reunited with her beloved husband. After this, I saw Rama, Sita and Lakshmana flying through the air toward the north in the Puspaka chariot. I then saw Ravana in my dream with a shaved head, his body smeared with red sandalwood paste. He was riding in a chariot drawn by asses, drinking oil, and laughing as though mentally deranged. As the chariot rode off, I saw Ravana disappear into a gloomy hell filled with filthy things that emitted a foul odor. I saw Kumbhakarna and the sons of Ravana in the same way, but not Vibhishana. Vibhishana was mounted upon a four-tusked elephant covered by a white canopy and was heralded by conch shells and kettle drums. Finally, I saw the whole of Lanka crumble and fall into the sea. I have concluded that very soon Ram will come and recover Sita after slaying the Rakshasas. You must now give up tormenting Sita and beg for her forgiveness. Meanwhile, auspicious signs appeared in the irreproachable body of Sita, like servants eager to wait upon a wealthy man. Her lotus-like left eye began to twitch, and her left arm gently throbbed. Sita's graceful left thigh also quivered, as if Rama himself were standing before her. Noticing all this, Trijata declared, Because of these auspicious signs, I can understand that Sita will soon receive some very good news. Hearing this, Sita became elated and said, If all that you have described comes true, then I will make certain you are afforded all protection from the wrath of my husband. However, Sita soon lapsed into her usual hopeless mood as she gazed at the Rakshasas around her. She thought, What if Ravana kills me before Ram is able to come to save me? In this miserable situation, I cannot bear the torment. Desiring to end her life, Sita took the string binding her hair and knotted it tightly around her neck. Then she began tying the other end of the branch of an ashaka tree. However, just at that moment, Sita again experienced many auspicious signs and her mood brightened. All the while, Hanuman had remained hidden, listening to Sita and the Rakshasas. He began considering the situation. I must go to comfort Sita, for her intelligence has become covered due to her intense grief. I must somehow allay her fears and give her hope before returning to Rama. Indeed, at any time, she may decide to give up her life out of despair. Still, how can I talk with her in the midst of these Rakshasas? Never mind, somehow I must do it. Rama will surely ask me if I have any message from Sita. If I reply that I have none, he may decide to burn me to ashes with his anger. Therefore, I think both Sita and Rama need to be consoled with news of each other. I will go to meet Sita while her guards are inattentive. If I speak to her in Sanskrit, she will surely have faith in my words. However, if I speak like a Brahmana, she may think that I am Ravana, disguised as a mendicant. Perhaps if I address her in the Ayodhya dialect, she will believe me. But if she hears a monkey speaking like a human, she will still think I am Ravana. How perplexing this is, especially since Ravana can assume any form he likes. I must be very careful, for if she screams, her cries will alert the guards. If the guards see me, they will also become afraid because of my gigantic size. Thus they will call for the help of Ravana's soldiers. Then I could be taken captive. Even if I were able to defeat all the Rakshasas, I would probably be too tired to jump back to the mainland. I must consider how to approach Sita very carefully, for a thoughtless messenger can ruin even the most perfect plan. After pondering his dilemma in great detail, Hanuman firmly concluded, I will first sing Rama's praise to gain Sita's confidence. Then I shall deliver Rama's message to her. From within the branches of the great Ashoka tree, Hanuman began to recite. Descendant of Vikshako, King Dasharat was his name, righteous and heroic, he ruled Ayodhya of fame. He received four mighty sons, Rama the loved of his heart, full of infinite potencies, Vishnu in a human part. To give Kaikeyi her boons into exile, Rama was sent, upholder of his father's vow. With Sita and Lakshmana he went. When Rama killed the Rakshasas, who filled the rishis with fear, Ravana kidnapped Sita with the help of Maricha the deer. Then in his search for Sita, Rama met Sugriva a friend. To search the southern quarter, I Hanuman did he said, after crossing many mountains, I jumped the ocean vast, and thus I have succeeded in finding you at last. Rama will come to save you, his dearly beloved wife. Now give me a little message to save your husband's life. As Hanuman fell silent, Sita began looking up into the tree to find the speaker. When she sighted Hanuman, Sita thought she must be dreaming. It is inauspicious to see a monkey in the dreams, she murmured to herself. Overwrought from anguish, Sita wept bitterly and then suddenly fainted. When she regained consciousness, she thought, after seeing a monkey in that nightmare, I should pray for the welfare of Rama and Lakshmana. But how could I have been dreaming? In my state of anguish, being separated from Rama, I cannot sleep even for a moment. It must have been not a dream but a hallucination. The monkey I saw could not have been real, for wherever I look, I see only Rama. My ears only hear Rama's voice, and I can think only of Rama and nothing else. I cannot believe the monkey was illusory, for he appeared so real. O lords Brahma, Indra, Surya, and Vayu, please let the monkey really exist, and let his words of Rama bring me auspiciousness. Hanuman came down from his hiding place in the tree, standing before Sita with folded hands. He inquired, "Who are you? You appear to be a goddess, and I think you must be the consort of Rama." Sita was delighted to hear Rama's name, and in reply to Hanuman's question, she practically narrated the entire story of her life. In conclusion, Sita explained, "Ravana has given me only 2 more months to live. If Ram does not come here before then, I shall give up my life." Gaining confidence, Hanuman said, "I am an envoy from Ram, and I can assure you he is quite well. Rama has sent me here to locate you. He anxiously inquires about your welfare." Sita was delighted. With great happiness, they continued talking to each other. However, as they became engrossed in conversation, Hanuman gradually began inching his way closer to Sita. Upon realizing this, Sita was suddenly seized with the thought that he was actually Ravana, disguised as a monkey. Thus she exclaimed, "Oh, how disgusting that I have been tricked into talking with you!" Sita then sank to the ground, exhausted from grief. She rebuked Hanuman, saying, "How abominable for you to come to me in a disguise." The next moment, however, Sita considered, "I certainly feel delighted at heart to see this monkey. Perhaps my suspicions are false. Perhaps he really is a messenger from Rama." Thus, composing herself, Sita again addressed Hanuman more favorably. "Please tell me more of Rama. Your descriptions of him are most pleasing to my ears and heart." In truth, Sita was absorbed in intense ecstasy in separation from Ram. Thus her talks were manifestation of transcendental madness. Like a deranged woman, Sita again began speculating. "Maybe this monkey is a ghost. Perhaps I only imagine I see him because I have become mentally unbalanced due to my agony. No, I should not even think like this. Why should I allow myself to become carried away by my disturbed mind?" From his speech, it appears that this monkey came here in the service of Rama. However, how can I believe that a mere monkey could jump over the ocean of Lanka? It must be Ravana who has come here in disguise. Hanuman could understand Sita's doubts, and to allay her fears, he continued to glorify Rama and reassure her in various ways. Then, to test Hanuman, Sita said, "Please tell me the story of how you met Rama. Also describe to me in full detail the bodily features of Rama and his brother Lakshmana." Hanuman then said, "O princess of Videha, Rama has eyes that resemble lotus petals. He has broad shoulders and mighty arms, and his neck is shaped like a conch. His eyes are coppery, and his voice deep like the sound of a kettle drum. He is solid in 3 places, his breast, wrist, and fist. He is elevated in 3 places, his chest, the rim of his navel, and his abdomen. He is reddish in 3 places, his eyes, his nails, and palms, and the soles of his feet. He is deep of voice, his navel is deep, and he walks swiftly. He has 3 folds of skin on the neck and belly. He is small in 4 places, neck, genitals, cups, and back. He walks with 4 different gaits, like a lion, like a tiger, like an elephant, and like a bull. 10 places on his body are like a lotus. His complexion, mouth, eyes, tongue, lips, palate, breast, nails, hands, and feet. He is fine in 4 places, his bodily hair, skin, finger joints, and perception. Indeed, he has all these features and many more. The beauty of Lakshmana is also immeasurable. Lakshmana's complexion is golden, whereas Lord Ram's is dark greenish blue. I met the two brothers at the Rishabuk mountain. When Rama saw the jewels you dropped in the midst of the monkeys while being carried away by Ravana, he became overwhelmed with joy and tears fell from his eyes. To establish an alliance of friendship with Sugriva, Rama killed Bali. To repay this favor, Sugriva initiated a great search for you all over the world by dispatching millions of monkeys. Now, by good fortune, I have located you in this remote place. I have the sword of the mighty monkey Kesari. My father originally resided at the Malaya hills and later moved to Gokarna mountain. When Sambasadna was oppressing the celestial rishis, Keshari killed the great demon at their request. Thereafter I was beguiled by the wind god Bayu through the orb of Keshari's concert. After hearing Hanuman's description of Rama, Sita became convinced that he was indeed a messenger sent by her husband. She began shedding tears of joy. Hanuman then took the opportunity to give Rama's ring to Sita. Recognizing it and seeing the name of her beloved on the inside band, Sita's face blossomed with joy, as if she were experiencing the arrival of Rama himself. She said, "O Hanuman, I am eternally indebted to you for this gift. You were so magnanimous to have come here for my sake. Now please tell me more about Rama." With folded hands, Hanuman replied, "It is only because Rama does not know where you are that he has not come here to rescue you. Without you, Rama doesn't know a moment's peace of mind. Truly, as soon as I return and inform Rama of your presence here, he will immediately come and kill Ravana." Sita then urged, "You must stress to Rama that urgency of the matter, for after 2 months Ravana will kill me." Ravana's younger half-brother, Vibhishana, has repeatedly pleaded with Ravana to return me to Rama. Likewise, Vibhishana's eldest daughter has told me how a wise old minister named Avindhya forewarned Ravana of the imminent destruction of the Rakshasas at the hand of Rama. But Ravana refuses to listen to this advice. Hanuman suggested, "If you like, I can immediately deliver you to Rama by carrying you to Kishkindya on my back. I am sure that the Rakshasas could not keep up with me as I fly across the ocean." Sita was thrilled to hear this prospect, but still she replied, "Your proposal seems quite like what a monkey would present. How can someone so small even think of carrying me across the ocean?" Hanuman was a little offended by this remark, and so he thought, "How little she thinks of me!" Then, to demonstrate his prowess, Hanuman revealed his gigantic form, boasting, "If you like, I can uproot the entire city of Lanka. Then, along with Ravana, I will carry it back to Rama. So please give up your doubts about me." Sita admitted, "You are certainly strong enough to carry me across the ocean. However, I do not think it's such a good idea. What if I become faint as you dash across the sky and fall into the shark and crocodile infested water? Moreover, when the Rakshasas rally and attack you, you will be fully engaged in fighting with them. What will happen to me? Even if you somehow manage to kill all the Rakshasas, these would only serve to diminish the glory of Rama. O Hanuman, since I am completely devoted to my husband, I do not want to touch the body of anyone else but Rama. When Ravana kidnapped me, I was helpless and I had no choice. However, Ram must now come here himself to rescue me after killing the wicked Ravana. This act alone would be worthy of enhancing his glorious reputation." Hanuman replied, "I appreciate your statements, which are just befitting the chaste and righteous wife of Rama. I will now leave, but first, please give me some token that I can give to Rama to help me convince him that I have actually met you. With tear filled eyes, Sita replied in a faint voice, O Hanuman, to convince Rama that you have met me, you may relate to him the following incident. One day, while we were residing at Chitrakuta, after playing in the water, Rama, still dripping wet, sat down on my lap. At that time, a crow came and began pecking at me, as though eager to eat my flesh. I picked up a lump of dirt to throw to scare it away, but the determined crow remained on the scene, hiding nearby. Becoming angered, I accidentally pulled the string that held my slip, causing it to fall down. Seeing this, Rama laughed heartily, taking advantage of my flustered countenance. In the meantime, the crow returned and again pecked at me. I took shelter of Rama by sitting on his lap, and he comforted me, wiping the tears from my eyes. Feeling exhausted, I soon fell asleep in Rama's arms, and soon he too dozed off. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the crow suddenly swooped down and clawed at my breast. This awakened Rama, who felt drops of my blood falling on him. Seeing the cuts on my breast, Rama became enraged and asked me to identify the culprit. Then, before I could answer, he saw the crow sitting at a distance, his claws dripping with blood. In great anger, Rama took a blade of kusha grass from his mat and saturated it with the power of a brahmastra. As the straw burst into flames, Rama hurled it at the crow. Then, as the bird flew up into the sky, the kusha grass weapon followed it. This crow was, however, the son of Indra, and while being chased by the Brahmastra, he tried to obtain shelter all over the universe. But even his father was powerless to help him. Finally, the crow came and surrendered to Rama. Out of compassion, Rama forgave the pale, exhausted bird, but he said, the Brahmastra cannot be ineffectual, therefore it must be directed somewhere. Saying this, Rama directed the weapon to destroy the crow's right eye. Thereafter, Indra's son departed after offering his obeisances. Sita became overwhelmed with sorrow while relating her pastimes with Ram. Then, with tear-stained eyes, she said, O Hanuman, formerly Rama used the Brahmastra against an insignificant crow. Why does he not attack Ravana now? Does Rama no longer have any affection for me? In some former life I must have committed an abominable sin to cause Rama to disregard me now. Hoping to encourage the despondent Sita, Hanuman reassured her, Rama is feeling great separation from you and is merged in the ocean of sorrow. Now please give me some object that I can show to Rama. Sita sighed and said, at least I now have some real hope of being rescued. Somehow you must urge Rama to come quickly, for if I must pass another month away from him, I will surely die from grief. Sita produced a bright jewel from her cloth that she formerly used to ornament her head. Giving it to Hanuman, Sita said, when Rama sees this jewel, he will remember three persons. Since it was given to me by my mother as a dowry gift in the presence of Rama and his father. O Hanuman, please return quickly and urge Rama to quickly terminate my unbearable suffering. Hanuman then circumambulated Sita and was about to depart, when in a voice choked with Hanuman then circumambulated Sita and was about to depart, when in a voice choked with tears, Sita said, please convince Rama to hasten to my rescue. Hanuman replied, do not worry, soon you shall see Rama, Lakshmana and all the heroic monkeys as they come here to slay Ravana and the Rakshasas. Sita pleaded, please stay for just one more day. By your association, I have gained some small relief from my intolerable miseries. Oh, Why do I even bother to raise my hopes? How will the monkeys be able to cross the vast ocean? I do not think that even Rama and Lakshmana have the capacity, but only Garuda, Bayu, or yourself. Hanuman, I know you could rescue me single handed. However, I request that you somehow enable Rama to kill all the Rakshasas and save me, for that will eternally enhance his glorious reputation. Hanuman replied, all the monkeys in Sugriva's army are equal or superior to me. Surely they will all easily reach Lanka. It is only inferior persons like myself that are sent on errands. Please give up all your doubts for good. If need be, I will cross over the ocean, carrying Rama and Lakshmana on my back. Sita then replied, O Hanuman, I again urge you to see that my rescue is hastened. I do not know how much longer I shall be able to survive under these conditions. I will give you one more message for Rama. Remind him of the time he painted my cheeks with red mineral to replace the decorations that had worn off. As Hanuman prepared to depart, Sita repeatedly implored him to hasten her rescue. Hanuman then considered, my mission would not be complete without ascertaining the true strength of the Rakshasas. Therefore I shall destroy this Ashaka grove, the pleasure garden of Ravana, just to provoke his anger. When the king of the Rakshasas sends his army to attack me, I will destroy it and then return to Rama. Thereafter, Hanuman started knocking down and uprooting Ashaka trees. He stirred up the ponds and crushed the hilltops. Then, after practically destroying the entire garden, he made his stand at the entrance. Upon hearing the frightened screams of the birds and animals, along with other sounds created by Hanuman's rampage, the Rakshasi guards awoke with a start. Seeing Hanuman's huge form standing at the garden entrance, their hearts filled with terror. The Rakshasas surrounded Sita and asked, who is this creature? What were you and he conversing about? Sita denied knowing who Hanuman was, saying, he must be a ferocious Rakshasa. Since you are all Rakshasas, it is you that should know him, not I. I too am terrified by his huge, frightening appearance. While some of the Rakshasas remained guarding Sita, others went and reported the matter to Ravana. Reverently bowing to their king, the Rakshasas said, a huge powerful monkey has come here. After talking to Sita, he devastated the entire Ashaka grove, except for the small area where Sita stays. When we asked Sita about him, however, she claimed not to know him. Ravana immediately became enraged and dispatched 80,000 fierce Rakshasas to go and capture Hanuman. When the army came before him, brandishing their weapons, Hanuman further expanded his form and began lashing his tail violently, making a sound so loud that it reverberated throughout Lanka. Hanuman then challenged, I am a servant of Lord Ram. If I like, I can kill 1,000 Ravanas. As Hanuman roared menacingly, the Rakshasas were struck with fear. Regardless, they began attacking him from all sides. Hanuman grabbed an iron bar lying at the gate, and while flying through the air, he slaughtered the whole Rakshasa army. The few survivors hurried back to Ravana to inform him of the massacre. Upon hearing the news, Ravana's eyes rolled with rage. He then ordered the extremely powerful son of Prahasta, named Jambumali, to go and fight Hanuman. Meanwhile, Hanuman began to destroy the immense temple of the Rakshas's guardian deity, located in the Ashoka grove. As he climbed up the edifice, which was as big as a large hill, Hanuman tore it to pieces with his claws, making crashing sounds that reverberated throughout Lanka. Hanuman then shouted, May there be victory for Ram and Lakshman! My name is Hanuman, and I will now destroy Lanka within the sight of the Rakshasas. Although the sound of Hanuman's voice struck terror into their hearts, the 100 guards of the sanctuary took up their weapons and surrounded him. The enraged Hanuman then broke off one of the temple columns, and assuming a terrible aspect, he whirled the column around so that fire was generated as it struck the other pillars. Thus, as Hanuman destroyed the guards with the blazing pillar, the entire edifice became engulfed in flames. Again and again, Hanuman shouted, "Let there be victory for Rama, Lakshmana, and the monkeys." Jambamali then arrived on the scene, riding upon a chariot drawn by donkeys. While the twanging of his bow filled the entire sky with its awesome vibration. Without wasting time, Jambamali struck Hanuman in the mouth with one arrow and his arms with 10 more. As blood covered his entire face, the infuriated Hanuman grabbed a huge rock and hurled it at Jambamali with great force. Jambamali, however, broke it to pieces with 10 arrows. Hanuman then uprooted a large tree and began to whirl it around. Jambamali easily broke the tree into pieces with 4 arrows, even before it left Hanuman's hand. The Rakshasa then pierced Hanuman's arms with 5 arrows and his chest with 10 more shafts and a dart. Hanuman remained undaunted. The great monkey warrior then picked up an iron bar and twirled it forcefully, smashing it against Jambamali's chest. The iron bar hit the Rakshasa so violently that his head, legs, chariot, and donkeys could no longer be distinguished from one another. Hearing of Jambamali's death, Ravana became further enraged and commanded the 7 sons of his chief minister to attack Hanuman with a large army. Thereafter, when the Rakshasas approached the Ashoka grove upon their chariots, they saw Hanuman stationed at the garden's arched gate. The Rakshasas immediately began showering their arrows so heavily that Hanuman was momentarily obscured from view. Hanuman, however, leapt into the sky, thus avoiding their onslaught. Then he charged, roaring loudly. Within moments, Hanuman struck down innumerable Rakshasas with his hands and feet, and while he tore others to pieces with his nails, others were crushed by the impact of Hanuman's chest and thighs, while still others simply fell to the ground, stunned with fear from Hanuman's roar. When all 7 of the chief minister's sons were slain, the remaining warriors panicked and fled. Hanuman returned to the archway, awaiting further combat. Ravana then sent 5 of his leading generals along with a large army, saying, "I want you to capture this Hanuman, for he could not be a mere monkey. He must be a super powerful being." Thereafter, the Rakshasa army assailed Hanuman from all sides. The general named Durdhara released 5 arrows that pierced Hanuman in the forehead. This merely infuriated Hanuman, who swelled immensely in size. Then leaping into the sky, he fell upon Durdhara's chariot like lightning striking a mountain. From the impact of Hanuman's gigantic body, the chariot was smashed to pieces, and Durdhara and the horses were crushed to death. Enraged at the destruction of their comrade, 2 other generals named Virupaksha and Upaksha suddenly sprang into the air and struck Hanuman's chest with their clubs. Undaunted, Hanuman swooped down to the ground, uprooted a tall tree, and struck the 2 generals dead. The 2 remaining generals, Praghasha and Bhasakarna, then came before Hanuman and pierced him with a spear and dart, causing his body to become covered with blood. The enraged Hanuman then quickly tore off a mountain peak with all its animals and trees and pounded the 2 Rakshasas into mere pulp. With the 5 generals out of the way, Hanuman effortlessly destroyed the rest of the army. Hanuman killed the horses by wielding other dead horses and crushed elephants with other elephants. He struck dead the soldiers with their slain warriors and smashed chariots by wielding other broken chariots. After covering the ground with many mutilated dead bodies, Hanuman once more stationed himself at the archway. Upon hearing of this massacre, Ravana simply glanced at his son Aksha, who was seated close by. Desirous of battle, the prince, understanding his father's indication, eagerly leapt from his seat in the assembly. He then mounted his mystical chariot, which could travel through the air and was drawn by 8 horses. As he approached the Ashoka grove, Aksha began showering all his arrows on Hanuman. As he came to close quarters, a fierce duel ensued, which made the earth begin to quake, the sun become dim, and the wind ceased to blow. When Aksha managed to pierce Hanuman's head with 3 arrows, Hanuman began to expand his body, while the Rakshasa warrior continued to shower arrows on him. The young Aksha was childishly proud of his strength and came fearlessly before Hanuman like an elephant approaching a well covered by grass. And came fearlessly before Hanuman, like an elephant approaching a well covered by grass. After being struck by Aksha's arrows, Hanuman assumed an awesome feature and sprang into the air. Aksha closely followed him while constantly releasing his arrows. However, Hanuman successfully dodged them while coursing through the sky. When an arrow suddenly pierced his chest, Hanuman mentally praised the skill of his enemy, thinking, "Although a young boy, this Rakshasa is fighting very heroically, and I really do not wish to kill him. However, as the battle progresses, his prowess only increases. If I do not kill him, I may become defeated. Therefore, it behooves me to kill him immediately, just as a spreading fire should be extinguished at once." Increasing his speed, Hanuman killed all the Aksha's horses with a slap of his hand, causing the disabled chariot to fall to the ground, smashed to pieces. Aksha took up his bow and sword, jumped from the ruined chariot, and ascended into the sky like a rishi on his way to heaven. Agile Hanuman, however, caught Aksha by the legs. Then spinning him around thousands of times, he dashed the son of Ravana violently to the ground. With all his limbs broken and his chest crushed, Aksha gave up his life while vomiting blood. Having witnessed Hanuman's victory, the rishis stationed in the sky gazed upon him with wonder, while Ravana's heart filled with terror. As Hanuman again stationed himself at the archway, awaiting the next onslaught of Rakshasas, the infuriated Ravana checked his anger and summoned Indrajit, his eldest son. Ravana said to him, "In warfare, you are unparalleled and equal only to me. You have conquered the king of heaven, along with all the demigods, and have received weapons from Lord Brahma himself. Now go and do whatever is necessary to subdue this mysterious enemy." Hanuman felt great joy when he heard the twang of Indrajit's bow as the Rakshasa came before him riding his chariot. As Indrajit showered his arrows, Hanuman roared loudly and expanded himself, then rose up into the sky to avoid the onslaught. In the fighting that ensued, Indrajit could not find any opportunity to pierce Hanuman with his arrows, nor could Hanuman strike Indrajit. Upon seeing the futility of his weapons, Indrajit considered Hanuman incapable of being killed. He began to think of how to capture him instead. Then Indrajit employed a special Brahmastra that immediately bound up Hanuman, making him fall to the ground, practically bereft of consciousness. Hanuman could understand that he was being bound up by the power of Lord Brahma in the form of a weapon. At the same time, he could remember receiving a benediction from Lord Brahma that such a weapon would lose its effectiveness after a short while. Therefore, Hanuman thought, "I cannot free myself just now, but still I have nothing to fear. Rather than considering this a setback, I shall take it as a good opportunity to see Ravana firsthand. Even though I have been taken captive, I am certain that from the benediction of Lord Brahma, I will soon free myself. Some of the Rakshasa warriors then came and tied Hanuman with strong ropes. As they bound him, they abused him with harsh words. However, as soon as Hanuman was tied up by the ropes, the effects of the Brahmastra became nullified because that weapon's power could not be used in conjunction with another means of bondage. In this case, the soldiers attempts to tie Hanuman with ropes. However, Hanuman allowed himself to be tied up by the Rakshasas, pretending to feel pain so he could get a chance to meet Ravana. Indrajit could understand that Hanuman was feigning bondage, being freed from the effects of the Brahmastra. Thus he thought, the capture of Hanuman has been rendered useless by these thoughtless Rakshasas. Moreover, now that the Brahmastra has been nullified, it cannot be evoked again against the same adversary. While Indrajit pondered over this predicament, the Rakshasas dragged Hanuman into the presence of Ravana, while excitedly saying among themselves, "Who is this monkey-like creature? We should kill him at once. Eat him up. Let's roast him." Hanuman was face to face with Ravana. Ravana ordered his ministers to interrogate Hanuman. In reply to their questions, Hanuman said, "I am a messenger from Sugriva, the king of the monkeys, who sends you his best wishes. The noble-minded Sugriva hopes that you are conducting yourself according to the principles of religion and that your kingdom is therefore prospering." Inwardly, Hanuman was enraged at being captured, and at the thought of how Ravana had kidnapped Sita further inflamed his anger. However, as he gazed upon the king of the Rakshasas seated upon his crystal throne, Hanuman thought, with Ravana's charm, presence of mind, courage, splendor, and auspicious bodily symptoms, he would have surpassed even Indra in glory, had he not become adverse to righteousness. Likewise, Ravana was enraged, yet felt apprehensive while looking at Hanuman. Ravana wondered, is this Nandi, the bull carrier of Lord Shiva, who previously cursed me when I mocked him? Or is this Bana, the king of the Asuras, disguised as a monkey? Prahasta, the foremost of Ravana's ministers, then assured Hanuman, "If you simply tell us your real reason why you have come here, we will let you go free." Hanuman replied, "As a curious monkey, I have simply come here with the desire of meeting Ravana. I knew that an insignificant person like me would have a difficult time gaining the king's audience. Therefore, I destroyed the pleasure garden with the hope that I would be captured and brought to the royal assembly. I did not intend to harm anyone, but when the Rakshasa warriors attacked me, I was forced to kill them in self-defense. Long ago I received a benediction from Lord Brahma that I could not be bound by any weapon or ropes. Thus you should know that I have purposefully allowed myself to be captured. The power of Indrajit Brahmastra has already been nullified. Now, please listen as I disclose the real reason for my coming here. My name is Hanuman, and I have been sent as an envoy of Lord Rama, the son of Maharaj Dasarath. For a long time, I have been searching for Rama's abducted wife Sita, and it was my good fortune to find her here. O king of the Rakshasas, please know for certain that no one is immune to the arrows of Rama and Lakshmana. Not even the soul-born Brahma, Lord Shiva or Indra dare to face Rama on the battlefield. O Ravana, you are the knower of religious principles. One who is actually wise would never court disaster by giving up the path of virtue. Please take my advice and give Sita back to Rama before it is too late. Previously you gained immunity from death at the hands of the demigods and demons by virtue of your severe austerities. Likewise, you should now realize that your unrighteous act of abducting Sita will bring about disaster for you. Even I could annihilate all of Lanka What to speak of Rama, who can dissolve and recreate the entire cosmic manifestation? Hanuman's speech simply made Ravana more furious. As his reddish eyes rolled in anger, he screamed, "Kill this monkey at once!" However, in a gentle voice, Vibhishana advised, "My dear elder brother, it is not proper to put messengers to death. You are certainly a great scholar. However, all your knowledge will be void if you become swayed by uncontrolled anger." Ravana, however, did not appreciate this unwanted advice. He angrily replied, "There is no sin in cart for killing an evildoer. Let Hanuman die." Vibhishan then argued, "In the scriptures, there is no injunction that a messenger can be killed. Indeed, it is unheard of. The only punishments that can be administered are mutilation of the limbs, flogging, shaving of the head, and branding. My dear Ravana, great heroes like yourself never fall prey to the influence of uncontrolled anger. I suggest that you try to kill the enemy who sent Hanuman and not Hanuman himself. Why don't you send your army to fight with Rama and Lakshmana, for it is they who seek revenge?" By the influence of his pious brother, Ravana finally relented, saying, "Monkeys always prize their tails very highly. Therefore set fire to his tail and parade Hanuman through the streets of Lanka. Then the people can see what kind of hero he is. Afterwards, he can be released to return to his relatives with a burned tail and suffer great humiliation." Being so commanded, the Rakshasas then wrapped cotton rags around Hanuman's tail and soaked the cloth in oil. As the rags were set ablaze, Hanuman expanded himself in a fit of rage and began beating the Rakshasas by lashing his tail about. The Rakshasas, however, took hold of Hanuman and tied him more tightly. Indeed, Hanuman allowed this, for he wanted to take a tour of Lanka to better inspect its fortifications. The Rakshasas rudely dragged Hanuman through the city streets, announcing to the people that they had captured a spy. As all the women, children, elders curiously came out to see the prisoner, the Rakshasi guards informed Sita of Hanuman's plight. Hearing this, Sita became greatly distressed and meditated upon Agni, praying, "If I have earned any pious credit by my devotion and austerities, then let them be utilized so that the fire feels cool to Hanuman." Just then, the sacrificial fire maintained by Sita began to burn mildly. Thereafter, the fire on Hanuman's tail burned coolly as Bayu blew ice winds. Hanuman wondered, "Why am I not being burned? All the flames are blazing brightly. Indeed, it feels as if the Rakshasas have wrapped ice around my tail. Surely, this is due to the mercy of either Ram or Sita." Then Hanuman considered, "It is not befitting a warrior and servant of Lord Rama to be bound up and made a laughing stock by these Rakshasas. I have had enough of this humiliation." In the twinkling of an eye, Hanuman slipped from his bonds by suddenly shrinking in size. Then jumping into the air with a shout, Hanuman instantly assumed his gigantic form and picked up an iron bar lying at the city gates. In a moment, Hanuman killed the guards and then considered, "What else can I do to torment Ravana and the Rakshasas before returning to Sita? What else I can do to torment Ravana and the Rakshasas before returning to Rama? Since my tail is ablaze, why not use it to engulf Lanka in a great conflagration?" His mind made up, Hanuman jumped onto the roof of the Prime Minister's palace, setting it afire. Then, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, he ignited a great fire that spread all over Lanka, avoiding only the palace of the pious Vibhishana. Hanuman also went within many palaces, including Ravana's. Because of the raging wind, the fire soon blazed out of control, causing the upper stories of the palaces to crumble and crash to the ground. The intense heat melted the gold and silver, which then mixed with pearls and then jewels and flowed into the streets like lava. A great uproar was then heard among the Rakshasas as they tried to save themselves and their possessions. Anguished cries and loud wails reached a pitiful climax as multitudes of Rakshasas, horses, and elephants were burned. Igniting the fat from the burning bodies, the fire began blazing higher and higher, so much so that it appeared that the time of universal destruction had come. Excuse me. In a state of panic, the inhabitants of Lanka exclaimed, "Is this Agni himself ravaging our city in the form of a monkey? Or is it Indra, Brahma, time personified, or the unlimited energy of Lord Vishnu coming here to destroy us all?" After going around the entire city, Hanuman paused to gaze upon the fire, feeling great satisfaction. Then Hanuman went to the ocean and extinguished the fire on his tail and contemplated his return to Rama. As he again returned to witness the fire consuming Lanka, Hanuman suddenly became filled with terrible apprehension as he heard the screams of the dying Rakshasas. "What a fool I have been to set fire to Lanka!" Hanuman thought, What if Sita has also been burned? What if Sita has also been burned? Just see the result of uncontrolled anger. It is the most sinful trait of the living entity, for it causes him to act indiscriminately. Indeed, what is there that an enraged man will not do or say? A person under the sway of anger can murder his own guru or parents and insult the great souls. Only one who has learned to control his anger deserves to be called a human being. If I have caused the death of Sita, then I have killed my master as well, and shall have to give up my life as atonement. To hell with the foolish nature of monkeys, which produces actions born of passion and anger. Passionate acts always give uncertain results. In this case, I may have brought about much destruction. If Sita has died, Rama and Lakshmana will no longer be able to live. Then one after the other, Bharata, Shatrughna, Sugriva, and many others will give up their lives. Without the shelter of these exalted persons, all other living entities will gradually become disinterested in life. Thus, it may be that I have unwittingly become the cause for the destruction of the entire world. As Hanuman lamented in this way, he suddenly observed several auspicious omens and concluded that the virtuous Sita could not have been harmed. Indeed, by the mercy of Ram, even I was not burned by the fire. What to speak of his beloved consort? The purity of her character alone is insufficient to protect her. The strength of her austerities, her devotion to truth, and her dedication to Lord Rama are more powerful than fire itself. All alone, the Siddhas, Charanas, and other celestial beings had been praising Hanuman for his heroic exploits. Now, to reassure Hanuman, they informed him that Sita was safe. Overjoyed and relieved, Hanuman rushed to where Sita was staying. Upon seeing her, he shed tears of happiness. Sita again pleaded, "Dear Hanuman, please remain here for just one day. I gain great relief from my burning grief by your association. Indeed, your return is uncertain, as is my survival, because of my intense unhappiness. I don't see how Rama, Lakshmana, and the monkeys will ever be able to cross the ocean. Regardless, you must urge them to come quickly and rescue me, for I do not feel I can remain alive under these conditions." Hanuman tried to comfort Sita, and he assured her of Rama's ability to rescue her. Having made up his mind to depart, Hanuman ascended the Arista mountain. In his eagerness to see Ram after completing his mission, Hanuman began crushing the peaks of the mountain with his feet. Then, as Hanuman expanded his size, the mountain began to crumble. The Gandharvas and animals residing there began fleeing in fear. Indeed, as Hanuman took his mighty leap, the 30 yojana high mountain sank down until it was level with the earth. Sailing through the sky, Hanuman again touched Mainaka mountain in a gesture of respect. Finally, as he approached Mahendra mountain, Hanuman began roaring jubilantly while waving his tail, anxious to meet his monkey friends. When they heard Hanuman's roar, the monkeys waiting on the shore became eager to catch a glimpse of their hero. Jambavan told the others,
Judging from his exuberance, Hanuman has been successful in his mission.
The monkeys began excitedly springing from tree to tree, mountain peak to mountain peak, waving their clothes. As Hanuman finally came into view, they stood up with folded hands to watch him descend upon Mahendra mountain. The monkeys gathered around Hanuman, shouting with delight, and presented him with fruits and roots. Hanuman first offered his respects to the elders, including Jambavan, and then to Prince Angada. He answered their eager inquiries and informed them that he had found Sita. Hearing that Sita was still alive, the monkeys became overjoyed and embraced Hanuman again and again. Thereafter, Angada praised Hanuman for his great heroism and devotion to Lord Rama and sat down with Hanuman to talk. Jambavan then approached and requested Hanuman to narrate the entire story of his jump to Lanka and subsequent discovery of Sita. As the monkeys eagerly crowded around, Hanuman mentally offered his respects to Sita and related the details of his journey to Lanka, how he found Sita, and his desecration of the city. He concluded by saying, "Because of her constantly being tormented by fierce Rakshasas, the gentle Sita suffers unbearable anguish. Although Ravana offers her everything in his possession, Sita scorns him, for she knows no one but Rama as her Lord. Although constant absorption in Rama keeps her alive, Sita will certainly wither away and die if she is not rescued soon. So let us attack Lanka at once and bring Sita back to Rama at Kiskindha. I know that I am able to defeat all the Rakshasas single-handed, as is Angada. Think of how pleased Rama would be if we not only found Sita, but rescued her too. Indeed, I could easily have brought Sita back here with me, but because I did not have your permission, I restrained myself." Angada then said, Once out of respect for the Ashwini Kumaras, Lord Brahma blessed their sons Mainda and Divira that they would be incapable of being slain in battle. Because of this, these proud monkeys were able to defeat the entire army of the demigods and forcibly drank their nectar. I think they could easily conquer Ravana. Indeed, since they are here with us, I agree that we should attack Lanka and return to Rama only after rescuing Sita. Jambavan said, Oh Prince, your plan lacks wisdom. You have forgot that we are only ordered to find Sita and not to fight for her recovery. Even if we are successful, I think that Rama would be displeased, for he vowed before all the monkeys that he would kill Ravana and win back Sita. Angada, Hanuman and the other monkeys accepted Jambavana's advice. Without further delay, they departed for Kishkinda. Along the way, the monkeys came to Madhuvan, a heavenly forest owned by Sugriva. Being eager to drink honey, they requested Angada to stop for a while. In that forest, the monkeys began to partake of fruits and honey to their full satisfaction. Within a short time, they all became intoxicated. While laughing, dancing, and singing, they sported in a most boisterous manner, turning the nice garden into a shambles. At this, the superintendent of the grove, named Dadimukha, became very angry. When he came and told the monkeys to stop, they insulted him with harsh words. And trying to save the garden, Dadimukha began chastising some of the monkeys, pacifying others, and even striking some with his hands. Unfortunately, this infuriated the intoxicated monkeys. They jumped on Dadimukha and began kicking, biting, and scratching him. Indeed, Hanuman encouraged the monkeys, saying, "Enjoy yourself as you please. I will check anyone who tries to stop you." Angada echoed this sentiment, and thus the monkeys fearlessly thrashed the guards and stripped the garden of all its edibles. Eventually, Dadimukha was set free, and the monkeys continued their drunken activities. Some of the monkeys lay down lazily, while others became insulting and boisterous. All the guards then approached Dadimukha, submitting their complaints about the monkeys' behavior. The superintendent assured them he would put a stop to their rampage. Dadimukha uprooted a huge tree, and the guards followed him by picking up huge boulders. As the guards approached, Hanuman and the other monkeys prepared to encounter them. Under the influence of intoxication, Angada grabbed Dadimukha, who happened to be his grand uncle, and after throwing him to the ground, began beating him mercilessly. Finally, when Dadimukha was let go, he took the guards with him to meet Sugriva, thinking the king would surely kill the monkeys for their misconduct. When Dadimukha thus arrived in Kishkinda and touched Sugriva's feet with his head, the king could see that he was highly agitated. Dadimukha then described the misbehavior of Angada and his followers. At this time, Rama and Lakshmana came by to see what was the matter, and Sugriva explained,
Angada and his party are now at Madhuvan. From the description of their reckless behavior, it appears they have been successful in their mission. I am sure that Hanuman has found Sita, otherwise the monkeys would never dare act with such abandon. Hearing this, Rama and Lakshmana became enlivened. Likewise, Sugriva was overjoyed and told Dadimukha, Indirectly your complaint conveys good news to me, therefore the mischief by the monkeys should be tolerated. Please return now to Madhuban and tell Angada and the others that I want to see them immediately. Taking this order upon his head, Dadimukha sprang into the air. When he arrived at Madhuban, he saw that the monkeys had become sober and were passing the honey from their bodies as urine. Dadimukha then approached Angada with sweet words, saying, Please forgive me for trying to forbid you and your followers from enjoying the gardens. O Prince, your uncle was exceedingly pleased to learn of your arrival and wants you to return to Kishkinda at once. Turning to his followers, Angada said, I suggest we return to Kishkinda without delay. Still, even though I am the prince, I do not consider myself superior to any of you. On the contrary, I feel completely dependent on all of you. I shall do whatever you recommend. I await your order. Fully satisfied by his statement, the monkeys replied, O Prince, your humility is just befitting an exalted personality. It indicates your eligibility to receive further good fortune. Let us not waste another moment, for Sugriva and Rama await our arrival. Thereafter, all the monkeys left towards Kishkinda like so many stones shot from a catapult. Seeing the monkeys approach in the distance, Sugriva went to the grief-stricken Rama, saying, Angada has come. I knew he would not dare return to Kishkinda without achieving success. Unless he had located Sita, he would never devastate the Madhuvan garden given to my father, Riksharaja, by my grandfather, Lord Brahma, if he had failed in his mission.
Before long, Angada's party arrived back in the presence of Rama. Hanuman excitedly declared, Sita is safe.
She who has remained fixed in her vows of chastity, never once accepting Ravana's advances.
Rama looked upon Hanuman with eyes laden with love and respect.
All the monkeys offered their obeisances to Sugriva, Rama, and Lakshmana.
Unable to contain themselves, they each repeated everything Hanuman had told them about Sita. When the monkeys finally fell silent, Rama said, Describe to me the exact location of Ravana's abode and tell me more of Sita. How does she really feel about me now? All the monkeys then pushed Hanuman forward so he could give an authoritative answer. Bowing to the south, Hanuman related the events leading to his discovery of Sita. Then he delivered to Ram the jewel from Sita's head and said, The devotion of King Janaka's daughter is completely fixed upon you. In separation from you, she can hardly maintain her life. Hanuman then related Sita's messages, how in the sun in the form of a crow had scratched her breasts, how Rama had decorated her face with red oxide, and how, due to being tortured by the Rakshasas, she would surely give up her life if he did not come to rescue her within 1 month. As he listened to Hanuman, Rama pressed Sita's jewel to his heart, and both he and Lakshmana shed incessant tears. Rama said, This jewel was presented to Sita by her father at the time of our marriage. Long ago, King Indra gave the jewel to Maharaj Janaka after becoming pleased with king's sacrificial performances.
Oh Hanuman, I have become practically unconscious from intense grief. Therefore, please repeat the messages given by Sita, for they act just like cool water sprinkled upon my head. In reply, Hanuman narrated, after Sita finished telling me the story of how he chastised Indra's son, Jayanta, she said, although Rama is unlimitedly powerful and unconquerable, he doesn't come here to rescue me. I can only conclude that this misfortune is the result of some terrible sin I committed in a past life. Hanuman continued, I offered to carry Sita back to you, but she refused, for she was unwilling to touch another male. Again and again she said, you must convince Rama to come here quickly to rescue me. My grief is practically unbearable, and I do not know how much longer I can go on living. O Hanuman, how will Rama, Lakshmana, and the monkeys ever be able to cross over the ocean to Lanka? I know you are able to kill Ravana and deliver me to Rama. However, it is my desire that Rama himself come here to rescue me, so his spotless reputation will be further enhanced. I do not wish to be returned to Rama the way I was brought to Lanka, carried by another. Hanuman concluded, I assured Sita that the other monkeys were superior to me and could easily jump over the ocean to Lanka. I also told her that if necessary, I could carry you and Lakshmana on my back. In this way, I pacified Sita a little. However, considering her precarious condition, I urge you to quickly devise some means whereby we can all attack Lanka without further delay. Thus in the Sundara Kanda of Ramayana written by Srila Valmiki, translated and adapted by His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Now before starting with the Kanda, maybe we can take 2 minutes break. So we are reading from Ramayana. Lord Rama's appearance day is coming. Next to next Saturday is Lord Rama's appearance day, 13th of April. So we will have a program here in the temple. So the Lord Ram appeared in the middle of the day. So the Abhishek will take place. Offering will be taking place in the afternoon. So you all are invited for the program. Whoever is watching, and whoever lives in Bay Area or will be visiting Bay Area at that time. Thank you. We'll start in another minute. Okay. So we are starting Yuddha Kanda From reading from Ramayana, Yuddha Kanda. Rama was extremely pleased with Hanuman's extraordinary accomplishment. He praised Hanuman, saying, "Except for Garuda, no one else could do what you did. Of all servants, the best is he who accomplishes more than the duty entrusted by his master. A mediocre servant is he who never attempts to do more than what his master orders, even though he may be capable of doing more. Finally, the worst servant among the lowest of men is he who does not carry out the order of the master, even though qualified. Dear Hanuman, you have not only found Sita, but also comforted her with your words. You surveyed the entire city of Lanka, tested the strength of the great Rakshasa warriors, and struck fear into the heart of Ravana. Indeed, your service was saved by my very life. Indeed, your service has saved my very life. Thus, it greatly pains me that I cannot reward you properly. Since I am living in exile without proper means, all I can offer in exchange for your service is my embrace." Saying this, Rama affectionately pressed Hanuman to his heart. Then Rama turned to Sugriva and said, "We now know where Sita is, but how will the monkeys ever be able to cross the ocean? It suddenly appears to me that all your hopes and hard labor have been rendered useless." Falling silent, Rama became engrossed in thought. Sugriva replied, "O my lord, you should cast off your grief just as an ungrateful person can easily give up kindness. For one who lacks enthusiasm, all activities become the cause of misery. For one whose mind is bewildered by grief, all endeavors end in failure. I take great delight in the prospect of fighting with the Rakshasas. I am convinced that the monkeys are equal to the task. Perhaps we could somehow build a bridge across the ocean. If the monkeys could only get to Lanka, I am sure they will emerge victorious." Looking to Hanuman, Rama said, "Utilizing my mystic power, I can easily cross the ocean or dry it up if I so desire. Therefore, please describe to me in detail the fortifications of Lanka and any other relevant information gathered in your foray." Hanuman eagerly replied, "Lanka has 4 types of defenses. Their first defense is natural. The city is situated atop a high mountain, encircled by a river, and surrounded by dense forests. Then there are fortifications, high golden walls around Lanka, with 4 massive gates facing the 4 directions, each equipped with gigantic catapults. Surrounding the walls are wide moats filled with fierce alligators. 4 drawbridges, which led to the 4 gates, span these moats. When I set fire to Lanka, I broke all the drawbridges and tore down many sections of the wall. My dear Lord Ram, may I suggest that only the greatest warriors such as Angada, Divida, Mainda, Jambavan, Panasa, Nila and myself jump over to Lanka. We can defeat Ravana without any need to worry about transporting the entire army of monkeys across the ocean." Rama replied, "It is my vow that I shall personally go to destroy Lanka." Turning to Sugriva, Rama said, "The sun is at the meridian and the auspicious time called Abhijit has arrived. This is the opportune time to begin a military campaign. Likewise, there is trembling in my right eyelid, indicating victory. Therefore, quickly assemble the monkeys so that we can begin our march to Lanka immediately." Lakshmana and Sugriva applauded Rama's initiative, and within moments, hordes of monkeys emerged from the caves and the wooded mountain slopes. Rama then ordered Nila, "I want you to march in front of the army. Take some of the monkeys with you and have them spread out in all directions, just in case enemy warriors are waiting to ambush us. Leave all weak monkeys behind, for the conquest we face is formidable." For the conquest we face is formidable. Rama then arranged the army so he was riding upon Hanuman's back in the center of the formation, with Lakshmana riding upon Angada. Thus, as Sugriva passed Rama's order through the ranks, the army set out to the south. The powerful monkeys marched on with great bravado, roaring like lions and leaping up and down. Sometimes they somersaulted or rode piggyback or threw each other into the air in sport, appearing cheerful yet playfully aggressive. The energetic monkeys lashed their tails about, uprooting creepers and dislodging stones as they clambered up and down the hills. Traveling alone, Lakshmana said to Rama, "Look at the auspicious symptoms around us. There is a cool and fragrant breeze blowing behind us, and the forest animals are making noise that indicate their satisfaction. Indeed, the land itself appears to be in a peaceful condition, while overhead the sun is shining especially bright." The army traveled on day and night, eager to fight for the Sita's recovery. While traveling, the monkeys bathed and sported in the mountain lakes, ate fruits and roots, and drank honey from the forest. Finally, Rama arrived at Mount Mahendra and climbed to its peak. From there, he could see that vast ocean stretching to the horizon. When Rama rejoined the monkey at the bottom, the army continued on. Before long, they arrived at the seashore. Rama told Sugriva, "We are now confronted with the problem of crossing over the ocean. How can we possibly cross? Let the monkeys set up their camp while we devise some means for reaching Lanka." As they busied themselves pitching camp, the monkey hordes appeared like a great brown sea, agitated with tossing brown waves. The monkey leader gazed with wonder at the vast ocean, which is the refuge of demons, going all the way down to the lowest planetary system. With wide open eyes, the army stared at the fathomless sea, infested with aquatic monsters like the 100 yojana long timi fish and the timingilas, which can swallow the timis in a single gulp. The monkey heroes behold the impassable expanse of web heaving, wind whipped water, with Lanka on the other side. While sitting at leisure, Rama said to Lakshmana, "It is said that grief disappears with the passage of time. However, my anguish in separation from Sita only increases with the passing of each day. O Lakshmana, my most painful thought is of how Sita's allotted time is steadily slipping away. My heart burns with longing for the time when I shall kill Ravana and rescue her. Only then will I be able to cast off my grief for good, just as a person throws away his old worn out garment." As Rama vented his anguish before Lakshmana, the sun gradually set. After witnessing Hanuman's devastating prowess, Ravana called a meeting with all the leading Rakshasas. The Rakshasa king said, "Impenetrable Lanka has been ravaged. My palaces are in ruins, and many of the best Rakshasas warriors are dead. According to authoritative opinion, the root cause of victory is good counsel. That is why I have called you all here. There are three classes of men in this world. Before acting, the wise person takes counsel of superiors and friends who have a common interest. Then, according to their advice, he exerts himself to his fullest capacity, while ultimately depending upon providence. The mediocre person thinks over a matter himself, considering things in the light of his own understanding, and then acts accordingly. The vilest of men are those who entirely gave up faith in God and performed their actions whimsically without a sense of duty. Being unable to properly judge what is beneficial and what is harmful, such persons go ahead blindly, saying, 'I shall do it no matter what.' Similarly, there are three types of advice. Good advice is given after an objective study of the problem and in alignment with religious principles. Medical advice is given after a heated discussion of the problem and places more emphasis upon self-interest than religious principles. Bad advice is that which is given out of false pride or flattery and which doesn't properly take into consideration the ultimate consequences. I am convinced that very soon Rama will come to attack Lanka with an army of monkeys. His prowess was demonstrated as Janasthana. Thus, I have no doubt he will be able to cross the ocean without difficulty. My dear Rakshasas, all of you are very intelligent. I want your advice about what must be done for our welfare. Ignorant of Rama's strength and eager to please their master, the Rakshasas replied, Okay, why should you be afraid? You are powerful enough to defeat all your enemies single-handed. Just remember how you defeated Kubera, taking Lanka away from him. Remember how Mayadanava fearfully handed over his daughter Mandadari to you. Why should you even bother to worry? You can rest peacefully while your son Indrajit annihilates Rama and all the monkeys before they even cross the ocean. Previously, after defeating all the demigods, Indrajit arrested Indra, the king of heaven, keeping him captive at Lanka. Only at Lord Brahma's request was Indra allowed to go free and assume his heavenly post. Ravana's commander-in-chief Prahasta then said, We have conquered the demigods, Danavas, Gandharvas and Pishachas. Why should we be afraid of these mere mortals? Hanuman was only to exert him prowess. Hanuman was only able to exert his prowess because it's still Prahasta. Hanuman was only able to exert his praise because we are unwary, considering him to be a mere monkey. Another Rakshasa named Durmukha stood up and declared, I will not allow this insult to go unavenged. Wherever they may be in heaven or earth or within the sea, I shall lead the world by every single monkey. Brandishing a club stained with flesh and blood, the Rakshasa Bajra Damstra shouted, Who cares for fighting with a bunch of monkeys? It is Rama and Lakshmana whom I shall crush to death. O king, just give me the order. Another Rakshasa named Bajra Hanu, as large as a hill, boasted, O king, remain here and conduct your business as usual. Drink wine and make merry while I attend to Rama, Lakshmana and their army of monkeys. Indeed, many of the Rakshasa heroes boasted of their prowess, assuring Ravana that they could conquer the enemies single-handed. Brandishing their weapons, the agitated Rakshasas were poised for combat when Vibhishana politely restrained them. When they were seated, the pious Vibhishana said, My dear brother, the wise have advised that violence should be resorted to only after the other three tactics of conciliation, gifts, and dissension have failed. Even their violence only succeeds against those who are evil, unwary, under siege by another enemy, or doomed by fate. Rama is supremely powerful and virtuous and eager for revenge. How can you hope to defeat him? Sita's abduction is the root cause of our present crisis. You should return her to Rama before his arrows destroy Lanka and all its inhabitants. After hearing Vibhishana's advice, Ravana dismissed the assembly and retired to his quarters. The next morning, Vibhishana came before Ravana as the Rakshasa king sat on his throne, listening to the Brahmanas offer prayers for his welfare. Sitting himself nearby, Vibhishana said, My dear elder brother, ever since you brought Sita to Lanka, many inauspicious omens have manifested. The sacrificial fire now gives off sparks and smoke, and snakes are frequently found inside the kitchen and sacrificial arenas. The offerings made in sacrifices are sometimes full of ants, and swarms of crows perch atop the palaces. Vultures continuously hover over the city, and sea jackals can be heard crying out ominously every morning and evening. This is all because of your sinful act of kidnapping Sita. O Ravana, the only attainment for you is to return her to Rama at once. I speak to you honestly, whereas your other ministers simply flatter you because they are afraid of incurring your displeasure. Because Ravana was overwhelmed by his desire to enjoy Sita, he became angry upon hearing his brother's sagacious advice. Nearly shouting, Ravana declared, I do not fear Rama or anyone else. I shall never agree to return Sita under any circumstance. My dear younger brother, you may take your leave and go about your business. In the months since kidnapping Sita, Ravana had grown emaciated due to his unfulfilled passion for Sita. Even his relatives had begun to disrespect him because of his abominable acts. Knowing what to be imminent, the king of the Rakshasas wanted to consult further with his ministers. Thus, the next day he ordered them to convene again. Thereafter, when Ravana arrived at the assembly hall riding upon his chariot, everyone offered their respects by bowing their heads to the ground as thousands of trumpets heralded his arrival. Ravana said to his commander, Prahasta, you must immediately ensure that our army is ready to defend the city both from within and without. As Prahasta left to oversee the army's preparations, Ravana addressed the assembly. My dear Rakshasas, I am pleased to announce that after sleeping for 6 months, Kumbhakarna has awakened and is gracing us with his presence today. Please listen attentively, for I want you all to fully understand my position. As you know, I have become obsessed with the lovely limbed Sita. Indeed, I have become the slave of my passion for her. Then, hoping to put himself in a better light, Ravana began waving a deceitful tale, saying, Sita has agreed to become my consort, but only after the expiration of 1 year. That is the exact time I have allotted for Rama to come to her rescue. For this reason, I have remained patient, but it now appears that Rama, Lakshmana and a vast army of monkeys are preparing to attack Lanka. In truth, I do not feel that 2 mere human beings and a band of monkeys can pose much of a threat. However, since one monkey, Hanuman, was able to inflict so much damage upon us, I must admit that victory is uncertain. That is why I have called for all of you. I want you to advise me how I can kill Rama, thus keeping the lovely Sita for myself. Kumbhakarna then stood up and sharply replied, O foolish king, you should have consulted us when you planned to kidnap Sita. Instead of acting impulsively, what would have saved you from repenting later on? That would have saved you from repenting later on. Regardless, you may give up your great anxiety, for I shall counteract your blunder by killing Rama and Lakshmana and devouring all the monkeys. Mahaparshva then spoke, O king, why should one not taste the honey procured with great endeavor within the snake-infested forest? You can forcibly enjoy Sita to your heart's content. Who can stop you? No one is as powerful as you are. You are free to do as you like without fear. Ravana replied, There is something in my past that I have always kept a secret. Since you have inquired, I will now disclose to you an incident that happened long ago. Once I happened to see an Apsara of incomparable beauty named Punjikasthali, who was on her way to offer her respects to the universal grandsire Lord Brahma. The sight of the Apsara inflamed me with desire, and I forcibly seized and raped her. After gratifying myself, I released her, and she fled naked to the shelter of Lord Brahma. The grandsire became enraged when he learned what I had done, and cursed me, saying, O wicked king of the Rakshasas, your head will split into 100 pieces if you ever try to rape another woman again. My dear Mahaparsha, it is in fear of his discourse that I do not drag Sita to my bed by force. However, I am not afraid of Rama, for I know I am the most powerful created being in the universe. Rama is obviously ignorant of my prowess. Therefore, since he desires to attack me, I shall make short work of him. Vibhishana said, My dear Ravan, can't you see that Sita is just like a poisonous snake that you have willingly placed around your neck? Use your good intelligence and return Sita to Ram before she becomes the cause of Lanka's destruction and the annihilation of all the Rakshasas. I can assure you that there is no Rakshasa warrior who will be able to stand before Rama on the battlefield and live to tell about it. Prahasta then angrily asked, Why should we be afraid for a mere human being like Rama when we have nothing to fear even from the greatest demigods and demons? As Ravana's well-wisher Vibhishana replied, Ram possesses unlimited and inconceivable potency on a level with Lord Vishnu himself. Therefore, Prahasta, you will do your king a great service if you dissuade him from fighting with Rama. Instead, you are now performing the greatest disservice by encouraging Ravana to fight. Turning to Ravana, Vibhishana said, I am only thinking of you. I am only thinking of your welfare when I say that you should return Sita to Rama. The minister who measures the relative strength of the king and his enemy and then gives advice accordingly is the true well-wisher. Unable to tolerate his uncle's words any longer, Indrajit hotly interrupted, Bibhishan, you are simply a coward and eunuch. Your advice has no place in this assembly, for it is devoid of courage and heroism. Previously, I dragged Indra and his carrier Airavat to the ground, causing all the demigods to flee in fear. It will be easy for me to kill two ordinary human beings like Ram and Lakshmana. Vibhishan harshly replied, You are but a mere boy. Because your intelligence is not yet developed, you cannot decide what is to be done and what is to be avoided. You are actually Ravana's enemy, not his son, because you are dull-headed, indiscriminate, uncultured, and wicked. Sita should be given back to Rama along with generous gifts so that the Rakshasas may continue to live peacefully. Ravana also got tired of hearing Bibhishana's contrary advice. To chastise his youngest half-brother, he said, It is better to live with an enemy or a poisonous snake than one who claims to be a friend but is actually a traitor, especially if that person is one's own brother. It appears that one's own relatives rejoice the most at their family members' misfortune. Once, when some elephants saw hunters approaching with snares in their hands, they recited the following two verses. Fire and weapons we do not fear, they dangerous are they, so-called near and dear. They are the ones who take special pains to make sure that we are all put in chains. From cows we derive milk, in brahmanas we find austerity, in women we see fickleness, and from relatives we are put into danger. Bibhishan, you are envious of me. That is why you cannot tolerate the honor I receive. If anyone else had spoken as you did, I would have killed him at once. You wretched half-brother are a disgrace to your noble family. Enraged by Ravana's rebuke, Bibhishan rose up with club in hand, along with 4 of his followers, and declared, O king, although you are my superior, I can no longer tolerate your words, for you have chosen to follow the path of irreligion. Flatterers who only utter palatable words are easy to find. However, persons who actually speak for one's benefit, even though the truth may be unpalatable, are very rare. O Ravana, I have only given you advice with the hope of saving you from meeting death at the hands of Rama. You have rejected my advice, however, and are free to do so. Thus I wish you well, O brother, but I shall no longer remain here with you. Vibhishana and his followers departed, and within 1 hour reached Rama's camp. When the monkeys saw Vibhishana hovering overhead, like a peak of Mount Mary illuminated with lightning, Sugriva told Hanuman, Take care, this Rakshasa must have come here to kill us. All the monkeys began picking up rocks and uprooting trees, awaiting Sugriva's instructions. Vibhishana announced, O king of the monkeys, I am the youngest half-brother of Ravana. As former minister to Ravana, I advised him repeatedly to return Sita to him. Repeatedly to return Sita to Rama. After being rebuked by Ravana with harsh words, I have left my home, wife and children to take shelter at the lotus feet of Rama. Please go and tell him of my intentions. Sugriva went to Rama and said, One of the enemy Rakshasas has arrived. Although he says he has deserted Ravana, he cannot be trusted. Indeed, one can never place any trust in Rakshasa. He must be a spy. If we believe in him, then when we least expect it, he may do us great injury. I suggest that he be killed immediately. Rama, however, went to the other monkeys, headed by Hanuman, and asked their opinions. The monkeys replied, Dear Lord Rama, you are the knower of everything. Therefore, we can understand that you are inquiring from us just to honor us. Angada then suggested, If the presence of this Rakshasa can give us an advantage, he should be accepted with great caution. However, if he poses too much of a threat, he should be turned away. Sarava advised we should assign someone to constantly watch over him. If after being thoroughly tested, he is found to be our ally, he should be welcomed. Jambavan word. These Rakshasas should be regarded with great caution and suspicion. Likewise, mind the advice, he should be thoroughly interrogated before any decision is made. The ever-wise Hanuman, gifted in the art of speech, then said, We do not have time to test Vibhishan. In my opinion, he has come here in all sincerity, hoping to take shelter to Lord Rama. He has understood that Ravana is wicked and that Rama is the supreme emblem of purity and righteousness. His peaceful demeanor and considerate speech indicate the honesty of his purpose, for a deceitful person cannot remain so composed. It is not possible for anyone to fully conceal his inner intentions. The facial expression always gives some clue into one's thoughts. I think Vibhishana should be accepted as your ally without reservation. Although Rama was pleased by Hanuman's statement, Sugriva said, Since Vibhishana has deserted his half-brother at a time of adversity, it should be understood that there is no one he would not betray. Rama then replied, I believe that Vibhishana has genuinely rejected Ravana. Such dissension often occurs in royal families. Let us welcome him as our ally. Still unconvinced, Sugriva meekly protested, He may have been sent by Ravana. Therefore, to be safe, we should immediately capture and kill him. If we accept him, he may turn on us at any moment. Rama smiled and said, Do you truly think this Rakshasa could hurt me? With the mere tip of my finger, I could kill all the Rakshasas and demons. Please listen all I tell you the following story. Once there was a hunter who caught a pigeon in his snare. Afterward, he took rest under a nearby tree. The wife of the captured pigeon was residing in the tree, and upon seeing that the hunter had come to her house, she offered him ample hospitality. Indeed, since she had nothing else to feed the hunter, the bird offered him her own flesh to fulfill her obligation to receive a guest. Rama continued, O Sugriva, since a mere bird acted in this way, what can be said of a man like myself? There are many places in the scriptures where it is stated that when an enemy arrives with folded hands, he must be protected by all means. The great sage Kandu has commented that it is only out of fear or folly that one would act otherwise, thus incurring sin. Moreover, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is my eternal principle that if any living being takes shelter of me, even one saying, I am yours, then I award that person freedom from all fear. Even if Ravana were to come here to surrender unto me, I would give him all protection. Sugriva's heart became filled with love upon hearing Rama's sublime statement. With tears in his eyes, he admitted, O Rama, your words and deeds are always just befitting your supreme position. I too feel that Vibhishana is sincere. Therefore, let friendship be made without a delay. After being assured by safety, Vibhishana descended to earth and fell down flat at the lotus feet of Lord Rama. In a mood full of fully surrendered, he explained, I am the youngest brother of Ravana and my name is Vibhishan. Although I instructed the Rakshasa king for his benefit, he rebuked me harshly. Therefore, I have abandoned my home, family and possessions and left Lanka to engage in your annual devotional service. I now place my life in your hands and beg you to bless me with your causeless mercy. While lovingly gazing upon Vibhishana as if drinking him in with his eyes, Rama requested him to describe the strengths and weaknesses of the enemy. In reply, Vibhishana said, because of receiving benedictions from Lord Brahma, Ravana has become immune to death at the hands of demigods, Gandharvas, Daityas, Danavas and Nagas. Indeed, he cannot be killed by any creature except human beings whom he considers to be too insignificant. Ravana's younger brother Kumbhakarna is as huge as a great mountain and as powerful as Indra. The commander in chief of the Rakshasas is Prahasta, who once vanquished the Yaksha hero Manibhadra at Mount Kailasha. Likewise, there is Ravana's son Indrajit, who is equal to his father in all respects. He wears impenetrable armor, and after propitiating the god of fire, he is able to make himself invisible on the battlefield. There are millions of other Rakshasas headed by Mahadara, Mahaparshva, and Akampana. All of them are very fierce and can change their forms at will. Rama then said, O Vibhishana, I am well aware of Ravana's prowess. I give you my word that after killing him and all other Rakshasa warriors, I shall install you upon the royal throne at Lanka. In turn, Vibhishana assured Rama that he would help him to conquer Lanka. Rama was very satisfied with his devotee. After warmly embracing Vibhishana, he ordered Lakshmana to bring some water from the sea so he could immediately perform the installation ceremony. Upon seeing the extraordinary mercy of Lord Rama upon the Rakshasa, the monkeys became ecstatic and shouted with joy. Hanuman and Sugriva said, We feel confident about combating the Rakshasas, but we are perplexed about how to cross over the unfathomable ocean. Perhaps you can advise us in this matter. Vibhishana replied, I suggest that Ram call upon Varuna, the presiding deity of the ocean. Previously, his forefather Sagara excavated Varuna's waters and extended his domain. Because of this past service, the ocean will certainly help Rama accomplish his mission. Sugriva then related Vibhishana's idea to Rama and Lakshmana, and Rama thought it to be a good idea, but nonetheless replied to Sugriva, I shall do whatever you and Lakshmana decide. Sugriva and Lakshmana readily agreed with Vibhishana. Thereafter, Rama sat down upon a kusha bed, his face turned toward the sea. Meanwhile, a spy named Shardula sighted the monkeys and reported to Ravana how the army had set up camp, covering an area of 80 miles in all directions. The Partab Rakshasa king then ordered his envoy Shuka to approach Sugriva and deliver the following message. I have never done any harm to you. Therefore, why are you preparing to attack Lanka? Since the kidnapping of Sita has nothing to do with you, it would be better for you to return to the Kishkinda and go on living perpetually there, peacefully there. Taking the form of a bird, Shuka flew to Sugriva and began to deliver Ravana's message while in the sky. However, as Shuka was speaking, some monkeys jumped into the air and captured him. Thus, while dragging him to the ground, the monkeys cut off Shuka's wings and savagely beat him. In great distress, Shuka cried out, O Rama, those who adhere to righteousness never indulge in killing an envoy. Rama intervened, and after being let go, Shuka once more rose into the sky, asking Sugriva if he had any message for Ravana. Sugriva replied, You may tell your master this, O Ravana, you are just like the stool of your dynasty, for you wish to enjoy the wife of another. Therefore, as a consequence, when my army swarms over the sea to Lanka, Rama will kill you and all your relations. Angada then said, The bird doesn't appear to be an envoy, but a spy who will convey information about our strength to the enemy. Therefore, he should be arrested at once. Taking this as an order, the monkeys again sprang to the air, capturing Shuka again. They bound him with ropes. Shuka again appealed to Rama, and he mercifully assured him he would be set free once he reached Lanka. Thereafter, Rama solicited Varuna, the presiding deity of the ocean, with folded hands. Rama was determined to reach Lanka by any means and was prepared to kill the ocean god if he refused to cooperate. When 3 days and night passed without any response from the ocean deity, Rama became greatly agitated. Addressing Lakshmana, he said, I can now practically say that in this material world, the good qualities of patience, forgiveness, and politeness are useless when dealing with persons bereft of all virtue. In this material world, such rascals give more respect to persons who are impudent, aggressive, harsh in speech, and who run about advertising themselves. Because of my mildness and forbearance, the ocean considers me to be important. Thus he will not deign to come before me. Lakshmana, give me my bow, and I will teach the ocean a lesson. Watch as I dry up the water, then the monkeys can march to Lanka on foot without difficulty. His anger blazing like fire, Rama strung his mighty bow and twanged it powerfully, causing the entire earth to tremble. Rama shot his arrows deep into the water, agitating the entire ocean, causing high, tossing waves, and terrifying the entities living within, including the Nagas and Rakshasas. Then, as he invoked his supremely powerful Brahmastra, Lakshmana put his head on Rama's bow and said, My dear brother, please restrain your anger and do not release any more arrows. Surely there must be more noble means for drying up the ocean and facilitating the monkeys to cross over to Lanka. Even the great Brahmarshis, from their vantage point in the sky, were terrified to see Rama's uncommon exhibition of anger. Ignoring Lakshmana's plea, Rama picked up the Brahmastra arrow and threatened the ocean, I will now dry up all your waters, so all that remains is a desert of sand. O God of the sea, since you are too proud of render service unto me, I shall utilize my own prowess so that the monkeys can cross to Lanka on foot. As Rama drew his bow out, heaven and earth began to tremble, and darkness enveloped the sky. Celestial winds raged furiously, uprooting gigantic trees and tearing up mountain peaks. Lightning streaked across the sky, as did hundreds of meteors, while thunder reverberated in all directions. The ocean overflowed its limit by 80 miles, filling all beings with terror. Still, Rama remained unmoved, fixed in his determination. Suddenly, the ocean god rose up from the water and appeared before Ram, surrounded by many serpents with flaming hoods, as giant alligators, tortoise, and fish were thrown up by the billowing waves. The ocean's presiding deities stepped onto the shore, followed by the presiding goddess of such rivers as the Ganga and Sindhu. Decorated with a garland of red flowers and golden ornaments, dressed in bright red cloth, and encircled by clouds and wind, the ocean personified approached Rama with folded hands, saying, O all-pervading Supreme Person, you are dull-minded and did not understand who you are. But now we understand. You are the Supreme Person, the Master of the entire universe, the unchanging and original personality of Godhead. The demigods are infatuated with the mood of goodness, the Prajapatis with the mood of passion, and the Lord of Ghosts with the mood of ignorance. But you are the master of all these qualities. O gentle descendant of the Raghu dynasty, the earth, water, fire, air, ether are all eternally imbued with their natural characteristics. As a great reservoir of water, I am by nature unfathomable and impossible to cross. I cannot be otherwise, O Rama. It is for you alone that I will make a special concession, enabling you to cross my waters. My lord, you may use my waters as you like. Indeed, you may cross it and go to the abode of Ravana, who is the greatest source of disturbance and crying for the three worlds. He is the son of Vishrava, but is condemned like urine. Please go kill him and thus regain your wife Sita. O great hero, although my water presents no impediment to your going to Lanka, please construct a bridge over it to spread your transcendental fame. Upon seeing this wonderfully uncommon deed of your lordships, all the great heroes and kings in the future will glorify you. If you construct a bridge, I shall make it float by bearing its weight with my energy. Thus, your vast army of monkeys can attack Lanka and you can recover your dear wife Sita. Standing with the Brahmastra arrow drawn back to its full length, Rama said, Please tell me where I can release this arrow, for having fixed it upon my bowstring, I am unwilling to withdraw it. The ocean personified replied, To the north is a holy place known as Druma Kulya, where a fierce tribe of sinful thieves called Aviras now live. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam also it is quoted. Avira Shumba Yavana Kasadaya. Because they drink ocean water there, I have become repulsed by their sinful touch. O my lord, I would be very pleased if you would let your powerful arrow fall there. Rama released his arrow as requested, making it fall to Durmakulya. The arrow pierced through the earth and brought all the water from Rasatala gushing up through the crevice, causing the entire subterranean region to dry up. The place where the arrow fell then became known as Marukantara. Rama gave it the following benediction. This land will become verdant with fruits, honey, and all varieties of herbs. It will be excellent for raising cows, and those who reside here will have few diseases. The ocean personified then said, My dear Ram, here is Nala, the son of celestial engineer architect Vishwakarma. This powerful monkey is your great devotee. Indeed, he is as talented as his father. He can oversee the construction of your bridge as I allow it to float upon my waters. The presiding deity of the ocean disappeared. Nala then came before Rama, and after offering his obeisances, he said, "Forbearance, conciliation, and gifts are wasted upon persons who are ungrateful. I know that Varuna has granted you passage only out of fear of punishment and not from a sense of gratitude. My lord, long ago my father Vishwakarma awarded my mother the benediction that she would have a son equal to him in all respects. For this reason, I possess all the Vishwakarma's architectural, engineering skills. I am quite capable of building the bridge, although I have these talents. No one knew of them before because no one had asked me about them. I do not like to speak of my own abilities. May I suggest that the monkeys start gathering the building materials so that work can begin at once." Under Rama's direction, millions of monkeys began the construction and some entered the forest in search of materials. After tearing up great rocks, trees, and entire mountains, they brought them to the shore through the use of mechanical contrivances. Then, as the huge stones and trees were thrown into the ocean, the water splashed high into the sky, creating a magnificent scene as the rocks miraculously floated. The monkeys tied them together with heavy ropes and vines, making sure they were properly placed. While the construction was going on, Vibhishana and his ministers kept guard at the shore. Hanuman also carried large boulders and threw them into the sea. While doing so, he happened to see a squirrel kicking dust into the ocean in an attempt to assist the Supreme Lord. "Move out of the way, or you will get hurt," Hanuman told the squirrel. "We are carrying huge boulders. What will your little dust accomplish?" As soon as Hanuman said this, Lord Ram appeared and rebuked him, saying, "Why are you saying this? Both the squirrel and you are serving me. Although you are lifting mountain peaks and he is moving small grains of sand, you are both doing your best. I therefore consider your service and his service of equal level." In this way, the bridge was constructed. It was 100 yojanas long and 10 yojanas wide. The surface was made smooth by placing the trunk of trees against one another. It was then covered with tops of branches full of blossoming flowers. Srila Prabhupada comments, one feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramchandra, is omnipotence. The Lord can act without regard to material impediments or inconveniences. But to prove that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and was not merely advertised as Godhead or elected by popular vote, He constructed a wonderful bridge over the ocean. Nowadays, it has become fashionable to create some artificial god who performs no uncommon activities. A little magic will bewilder a foolish person into selecting an artificial god because he doesn't understand how powerful God is. Lord Ramchandra, however, constructed a bridge over the water with stone by making the stone float. This is proof of God's uncommonly wonderful power. Why should someone be accepted as God without displaying extraordinary potency by doing something never to be done by any uncommon man? We accept Lord Ramchandra as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he constructed this bridge, and we accepted Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he lifted Govardhan Hill when he was only 7 years old. We should not accept any rascal as God or an incarnation of God, for God displays special features in his various activities. The activities of the Lord are not common. They are all transcendently wonderful, not be able to perform by any other living being. The symptoms of the Lord activities are all mentioned in the scriptures, and after one understands them, one can accept the Lord as he is. The demigods and great rishis assembled in the sky to behold the wonderful bridge spanning the deep shimmering ocean. Sugriva then requested Rama and Lakshmana to mount the backs of Hanuman and Angada. Soon thereafter, the entire army, consisting of billions of monkeys, began to march. We can maybe stop for 2 minutes. Actually, we need to continue, in the Arati time also, because we are behind the schedule. I am on track for the previous readers. They could not finish the designated number of pages, so yeah, 35 actually, 52 to 87, right? 77? I'm 77? Then it's good. And then I'm very good actually. Let me check. 87. Hare Krishna, we will start. Upon reaching Suvela mountain at the far shore of Lanka island, the monkeys became thrilled. As Sugriva set up camp, all the great demigods and rishis came and individually bathed the king and the monkeys with water from the sacred rivers, blessing the king to obtain victory. Rama then embraced Lakshmana, saying, "Make certain that the army stays on constant alert, for I perceive evil omens foreboding the destruction of many great heroes among the monkeys, bears, and rakshasas. Indeed, just see how the fierce winds stir up clouds of dust. There are tremors in the earth, and dark clouds are raining blood. The evening twilight is heavily tinged with red, and the animals cry out pitifully. O Lakshmana, I think we should immediately begin our march on the city of Lanka." Thus at Rama's desire, the army of monkeys departed. As they drew near Lanka, the Rakshasas could hear their loud roaring. While looking at the golden city, magnificently perched atop Trikuta mountain, Rama thought only of Sita imprisoned within. Rama then ordered the commanders to arrange the army in a human-shaped formation, with himself and Lakshmana at the head. As they approached Lanka, the monkeys took up great trees and mountain peaks, while Rama sent orders to Ravana to release Sita or to prepare for death. The monkey chiefs released the Rakshasa messenger in the form of a bird, who immediately went to Ravana. When the Rakshasa king saw how Shuka's wings had been cut off, he laughingly inquired, "Who has done this?" Shuka said, "I delivered your message to Sugriva, but the monkeys captured me and severely beat me. Then they cut off my wings. It was only due to the mercy of the virtuous Rama that I was released. O king, the army of monkeys has already arrived here to rescue Sita. You must return her to Rama, or immediately attack the hordes of monkeys before they swarm over the boundary walls." Ravana angrily replied, "I will never give up Sita. I will kill Rama and all his monkey soldiers. However, I am quite amazed that these monkeys could build a bridge across the ocean. I want you and Sharana to disguise yourself as monkeys and secretly enter the enemy's ranks to estimate their strength." Shuka and Sarana obediently went to the monkeys' camp, but because of the vastness of the monkey army now spread throughout the forest, mountains, and along the shore, the two spies could not even begin to estimate the number of soldiers. As they moved along, however, Vibhishan identified them as disguised Rakshasas and captured them, taking them to Rama. Afraid for their lives, Shuka and Sarana stood before Rama with folded hands, pleading, "We have not come here of our own accord. We were sent by Ravana to ascertain the strength of your army." At this, Rama simply laughed and replied, "If you have accomplished your mission, then you can return to Ravana at once. However, if you have not yet completed your observations, then you can continue your tour without fear, guided by Viveshana. In return for your hospitality, I only request you to deliver this message to Ravana. Accompanied by my army of monkeys, I will destroy Lanka and kill all the Rakshasas." Out of gratitude, Sukha and Sarana offered obeisances unto Rama, saying, "May you be victorious." They then returned to Ravana and explained, "We were captured by Vivishana but then mercifully released by magnanimous Rama. Due to the army's vastness, it was impossible for us to estimate the extent of it. However, we can assure you that Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva and Vibhishana can uproot Lanka and carry it away if they so choose, even without the help of the other monkeys. Indeed, we are convinced that Rama could destroy Lanka and all the Rakshasas single-handed. We advise you to return Sita to Rama and establish an alliance with him." Ravana replied, "I will never give back Sita, even if all the demigods and demons combine together to attack me. You only speak such rubbish because you are afraid of being tormented by a few monkeys. Why have I got to fear?" Ravana climbed to the roof of his palace, accompanied by his 2 spies. Hare Krishna, there will be Arati. Arati now. There will be Arati now. Ravana climbed to the roof of his palace, accompanied by his 2 spies, hoping to gain a good view of the enemy. Ravana then asked Sarana to point out the cheap monkeys. Sarana showed his master all the great heroes, including Hanuman, Sugriva, Angada, Nala, Mainda, Vavidvida, Sheta, Panasa, Vinata, Gavaya, and finally Dhumra, the commander-in-chief of the Veers, and his younger brother Jambavan. Sarana was described their physical characteristics and praised their incomparable prowess. The monkey army was so expansive that in order to describe the extent of it, Sarana first had to explain the Vedic system of counting. He explained that 100,000 is 1 lakh, 100 lakhs equals 1 crore, 1 lakh of crores is called a Shanku, and 1 lakh of Shankus is called Mahashanku, 1 lakh of Mahashanku is called a Vrinda, and 1 lakh of Vrindas is called a Padma. With 1 lakh of Padmas equaling a Mahapadma, 1 lakh of Mahapadma is called a Kharba, and 1 lakh of Kharba is a Mahakharba. 1 lakh of Mahakharba is called a Samudra, and 1 lakh of Samudra is an Ogha, and 1 lakh of Oghas is called a Mahogha. Sarana then explained that Rama's army of monkeys consisted of at least 100 crores of Mahogas of soldiers. Anyways, yeah. Seeing Rama, Lakshmana and the other monkey heroes, Ravana became enraged. As Sukha, Sarana hung their heads, Ravana chastised them severely, trying to restrain his anger. He said, "You are supposed to be my ministers, yet you are ignorant of politics and are praising the enemy. Your speech is most unpalatable. I must be fortunate indeed to have retained my sovereignty for so long. Guided by such ignorant fools as you, how can you speak so foolishly? Have you no fear of death? It is only the memory of your past service that keeps me from killing you this instant." Sukha and Sarana became ashamed to hear Ravana chastise them in this way. Hoping to pacify their master, they shouted, "O king, may victory be yours," and then departed. Ravana ordered Mahodara to bring more spies forward. Soon afterward, Shardula and others arrived, pronouncing benedictions for Ravana's victory. Ravana ordered the spies to ascertain the enemy's plans. Then the spies circumambulated Ravana and slipped out to where Rama and the monkey soldiers were camped. Although the spies were disguised as monkeys, Vibhishana easily detected them as Rakshasa and arrested them. Then the monkeys surrounded them and beat them severely. However, when their plight came to Rama's attention, he mercifully ordered them that they too be set free. Returning to Lanka in a stupefied condition, Shardula and his men came before Ravana and reported, "The enemy army of monkey is now encamped near the Subela mountain. They are incapable of being spied upon. Just moments after our arrival, we were captured by Viveshana and then beaten by the monkeys. It is only by the grace of Rama that we were released and able to return with our lives. O king, it appears that Rama is capable of destroying not only Lanka, but the entire cosmic manifestation as well. You must either return Sita or immediately be prepared to fight with Rama's army before they reach Lanka's boundary walls. Ravana considered Shardula's word for a half a moment and then declared, I shall never return Sita under any circumstance. Ravana asked for advice from his assembled ministers. Finally, he retired to his private rooms and called for Vidyujjiha, a Rakshasa expert in conjuring tricks. Ravana told him, I want you to create an illusory head of Rama and a perfect imitation of his bow and arrows. I am going now to the Ashoka Grove to see Sita. You should follow me and remain hidden. When I call for you, bring your magical creations. Ravana went to the Ashoka Grove, eager to see Sita. He came before the anguished daughter of King Janaka and announced, Rama has been slain by my commander-in-chief. You should give up your stubbornness and become my beloved queen. I will tell you just how it happened. After Rama crossed the ocean, night set in, and being exhausted, Rama, Lakshmana and the monkey warriors fell asleep on Lanka's shore. In the darkness, the great Rakshasa heroes went there and began slaughtering them all. Prahasta cut off Rama's head as he soundly slept, and Lakshmana, Hanuman and the other monkey chiefs were killed as the others fled in fear. O noble lady, I have brought Rama's severed head here just to convince you that I am telling the truth. Ravana then ordered the Rakshasi guards to call for Vidyujjiha. The magician thus appeared, bearing an illusory head of Rama along with his bow and arrows. Ravana then told Sita, Look, this is the bloodied head of your husband. Then turning to Vidyujjiha, Ravana said, Show Sita Rama's severed head. Let her see the remains of her mortal husband. Vidyujjiha placed the illusory head at Sita's feet and hastily departed. Ravana then took Rama's illusory bow and arrows and threw them towards Sita, saying, Submit to me now, for you have no other hope. The illusory severed head had features exactly resembling Rama's. When Sita saw it, she cried out mournfully, Oh Kaikeyi, this is the result of your evil plans. Now your cherished goal is fulfilled. You must be very happy. Crying convulsively, Sita fell to the ground like a plantain tree uprooted by a strong wind. Soon she recovered and sat down beside the illusory head, lamenting, Oh Rama, without you I have become a widow. My life has come to an end. What greater calamity could befall a woman than the death of her husband before her own demise? Alas, I am most despicable, for it is who have caused the death of my husband. It is for my sake alone that he crossed the ocean, only to die without even a fight. Little did Rama know that when he married me, he waited his own death as well. Surely in a previous life I obstructed the marriage of another girl. Thus I now suffer in this life. O Rama, have you departed for the next world without me? Sita then said to Ravana, Please take me to where the body of Rama is lying. Then as I place my body upon his, you may kill me so that I may attain the same destination as my husband. Just at that moment, a messenger arrived, informing Ravana that Prahasta urgently required his presence in a meeting of his minister. Ravana departed, and as soon as he was gone, the illusory head and bow vanished from Sita's side. Entering the assembly, Ravana immediately ordered the Rakshasas to mobilize for battle. Without further discussion, they began preparations for war. Meanwhile, Vibhishana's wife, Sarama, came to console Sita. Sarama had already befriended her at Ravana's urging, for he did not wish to Sita to die prematurely from grief. Sarama said, I was hiding behind a nearby bush. I could hear everything Ravana said. I can assure you that Rama is not dead. The head you saw was created by Rakshasa conjurer tricks. In truth, Rama has arrived at Lanka with Lakshmana and the army of monkeys. They are now preparing to attack Ravana. That is why Ravana just left here in such an agitated state. He knows that he is unable to defeat Rama and the monkey heroes under his protection. Even from here I can hear the Rakshasas making preparations. Soon there will be a great war between the two armies. Do not worry, Sita, for Rama will defeat Ravana without a doubt. If you would like to give Rama a message, I can deliver it for you. Sita was greatly relieved to hear Sarama's assurance. She requested her, O Sarama, Please try to learn what Ravana's plans are. Is he going to fight with Rama, or will he return me to Rama? Sarama went out, and while remaining hidden, overheard Ravana's conversation with his minister. She returned to Sita and reported, "As I listened to many of Ravana's elder ministers advise Ravana to return you to Rama, describing the unlimited prowess of Rama and Lakshmana. Even Ravana's mother urged him to make peace with Rama. Ravana, however, remained adamant. Therefore, I can understand that he will only give you up at the time of death." Even as the meeting was going on, Ravana could hear the sound of conch shells, drums, and other noises from the monkeys. Then Malyavan, Ravana's maternal grandfather, said, A wise king never fights with an enemy who has superior strength. Therefore, I advise you to return Sita to Rama and establish peaceful relations with him. Otherwise, O Ravana, you may rest assured that virtue, having taken the form of the enemy, will conquer over your evil self. Because you have persecuted the great rishis, the power of their austerity is now aimed at you for your destruction. Furthermore, the benedictions you received from Lord Brahma did not give you immunity from death at the hands of human beings or monkeys. You should carefully consider the dangerous position you are now in. My dear grandson, you should heed my advice, for many inauspicious signs have already become visible, indicating the destruction of Lanka. Clouds are pouring down showers of hot blood. Our horses and elephants have tears in their eyes, and carnivorous animals freely enter the gardens of Lanka, crying out ominously. In their dreams, the citizens see black omen with yellow teeth plundering their houses and standing before them, laughing at them. Dogs are eating the sacrificial offerings, and different species of animals are seen mating with each other. Time personified, appearing in a huge black form with a shaved head, is seen peering into all the houses of Lanka every morning and evening. O Ravana, I consider Rama to be Lord Vishnu himself, appearing in the form of a human being. You must immediately go and surrender to him and rid yourself from this impending calamity. Sarama continued. Ravana could not accept this good advice. Instead of angrily replied, "You are a rascal, taking the side of the enemy. You seem very eager to glorify the prowess of Rama. But what do you think of me? You must be praising the enemy because you are envious of me, or because you have been won over to the other side. Perhaps you are afraid of me. I can assure you that you will soon witness the deaths of Rama by my own hands." Malavan remained silent for a time. Then, after offering his respects to the king, he retired to his quarters. Ravana then made arrangements for Lanka's defense. He posted Prahasta at the eastern gate, Mahaparsha and Mahadara at the southern gate, Indrajit at the western gate, Shuka and Sarana himself at the northern gate, and Birupakshi in the city's center. Then the king dismissed his ministers and retired to the interior of his palace. Tissue paper. Thank you. As Rama and the monkey army approached Lanka, they discussed how they could best besiege the city. Vibhishana said, "Along with my ministers, Anala, Panasa, Sampati and Pramati, I took the form of a bird and surveyed the military arrangements of Ravana. We now know how their defenses are laid out. My dear Ram, I am confident that just as Ravana defeated Kubera by invading Lanka with 60 lakhs of Rakshasas, you too will gain victory with the help of these hordes of monkeys." Rama then ordered Nila will lead the attack on Prahasta at the eastern gate. Angada and his soldiers will fight against Mahaparsha and Mahadara at the southern gate. Hanuman will lead the attack against Indrajit at the western gate, and Lakshmana and I will contend with Ravana at the northern gate. Sugriva, Jambavan and Vibhishana will stay in the center of our army to provide assistance whenever needed. I want only 7 of us to fight in the form of human beings, myself, Lakshmana and Vibhishana and his 4 ministers. All others should retain their monkey forms, for that will allow us to remain distinguished from the enemy warriors. The sun was already setting when Rama, Lakshmana and the monkey leaders climbed to the peak of Subela mountain to spend the night. From the mountain top they had a good view of Lanka. Even though darkness had already set in, the city's innumerable twinkling lights made it appear as if it were suspended from the sky. The leaders of Rama's army could also see that the Rakshasa warriors were prepared for the upcoming fight. The next morning, everyone was amazed to see the heavenly city complete with its array of flowering gardens filled with celestial trees and singing birds. Lanka was beautifully situated on a level peak of the Trikuta mountain, measuring 100 yojanas by 100 yojanas. The walled city had an area of 20 by 20 yojanas, and in the center stood the magnificent palace of Ravana, supported by 1,000 pillars. While gazing at the city and feeling great appreciation for its magnificence, Rama sighted Ravana perched atop the northern gate, with a canopy held over his head, being fanned by his servants. Sugriva ordered numerous monkeys ahead, jumping from mountaintop to occupy the outer garments of Lanka. Suddenly he too sighted Ravana. Thus Sugriva impetuously leaped from the peak of Mountain Subela to where the Rakshasa king was sitting atop the northern gate. Gazing at Ravana with great disdain, Sugriva announced, "I am a servant of Lord Ram, and I shall kill you this very day." Sugriva pounced on Ravana, knocking his crown off in the process. This surprised Rakshasa king then grabbed Sugriva and, while uttering similar threats, threw Sugriva to the ground. Sugriva, however, bounced up immediately like a rubber ball and in turn braced Ravana, throwing him to the ground with great force. A fierce wrestling match ensued, and the two heroes scratched each other with their nails, covering them both with blood and perspiration. After striking each other with their fists and arms and wrestling for a long time, Sugriva and Ravana both fell down from the gate onto the ground in the area between the boundary wall and the moat. Then, jumping to their feet, the two kings continued fighting, exhibiting all their knowledge in the art of wrestling. At last, when Ravana realized he could not defeat Sugriva with mere physical strength, he called upon his mystic powers. Understanding this, Sugriva decided to abandon the fight. He bounded into the air and immediately returned to where Rama was staying. Sugriva was now feeling blissful at having performed such a heroic feat, and his followers responded by jumping excitedly. Embracing Sugriva in love, Rama mildly chastised him, saying, "You have acted foolishly, for you dared to do something without my sanction. Besides this, a king should never take such risks, because the death of the ruler is a great calamity for the entire nation. O Sugriva, if Ravana had killed you, then I certainly would have slain him in retaliation. Then, after installing Vibhishana upon the throne at Lanka and Bharata on the throne at Ayodhya, I would have given up my own life of having allowed you to be killed in my presence." Sugriva replied, "After seeing that rascal Ravana, the abductor of Sita, I could not bear to simply ignore him." Rama said, "Regardless, you courageously displayed your heroism, and all the monkey soldiers have been inspired by your fearless example." Turning to Lakshmana, Rama said, "By observing various omens, I can understand that there will soon be great destruction, a slaughter of the leading monkeys, bears and rakshasas. Let us attack Lanka immediately." Rama climbed down from Subela mountain to review his army. He then began his march to Lanka, bow in hand, while the monkeys following him uprooted trees and mountain peaks. Soon afterward, they arrived at the city walls, and Rama encamped his army outside the northern gate. Similarly, Nila took up his position outside the eastern gate, Angada at the southern gate, and Hanuman outside the western gate. Sugriva positioned his army in between the northern and western gates. Thus the monkeys completely surrounded the walled city, awaiting the encounter. The Rakshasa warriors were astonished to see seemingly unlimited number of monkeys surrounding their city. With weapons in hand, the leaders fearfully rushed to Ravana's palace to inform Ravana how the monkeys were seizing the city. Ravana quickly went to a balcony to personally survey the situation. Seeing how the entire earth around Lanka had become brown, covered by multitudes of monkeys, the Rakshasa king was struck with wonder. For a long time, Ravana stood motionless, staring at Rama, wondering what he should do next. Rama then ordered Angada to deliver a message to Ravana. Leaping into the air, Angada quickly came before Ravana, who was sitting atop the northern gate, surrounded by his ministers. Staying at a slight distance from Ravana, Angada announced, "My name is Angada, nephew of King Sugriva and heir apparent to the royal throne at Kishkinda. I have come here as Rama's envoy with this message. O king of the Rakshasas, now that all of your pious credits have been exhausted, I am going to kill you in retaliation for your atrocities against the rishis. If you do not surrender to me at once, then I shall lead the entire world of Rakshasas. Either submit to me or come before me so that I can purify you with the onslaught of my deadly arrows. If you are unwilling to return Sita and bow down before me, then I advise you to take a good look at Lanka, for it will be your last. Inflamed with rage, Ravana ordered the ministers to kill Angada. Angada allowed 4 Rakshasas to seize him, for he desired to show off his prowess. Then he suddenly jumped to the top Ravana's place, carrying aloft the 4 Rakshasas clutching at his arms. The force of Angada's leap shook the Rakshasas loose, and they plummeted to the ground at Ravana's feet. Angada then violently kicked the roof of the Ravana's place, causing the top dome to crumble. While Ravana looked on helplessly, having thus vexed the Rakshasa king, Angada let out a loud roar and returned to Rama. Witnessing Angada's prowess, Ravana foresaw his own destruction and began sighing repeatedly. Once again, Rama thought of Sita and thus commanded his army, "Make short work of the Rakshasas." The monkeys shouted in unison, "All victory to Ram and Lakshmana! Jai Shri Ram and Lakshmana!" Causing Lanka to resound with their vibration, the monkeys then began scaling the defensive walls and breaking them down with trees and boulders. Ravana then ordered his troops to advance quickly, and in this way the fierce conflict began amidst a terrible roaring sound. The Rakshasas struck the monkeys with their clubs and other weapons, and the monkeys countered by using trees, stones, and their claws and teeth. The monkeys did not have proper equipment with which to fight the soldiers of Ravana. Thank you, Babu. For Ravana, soldiers were equipped with sophisticated weapons, whereas the monkeys could only throw stones, mountain peaks, and trees. Thank you, Babu. It was only Lord Ramchandra and Lakshmana who shot some arrows, but because the soldiers of Ravana were condemned by the curse of Mother Sita, the monkeys were able to kill them simply by throwing stones and trees. Stationed atop Lanka's defensive walls, the Rakshasas pierced numerous monkeys with their weapons, while other monkeys leaped up and dragged the Rakshasas down to the ground, causing the earth to become a mire of flesh and blood. As Hanuman fought with Jambumali, Angada with Indrajit, Nila with Nikumbha, and Sugriva with Pragasha, rivers of blood created by the massacre carried away the slain warriors. Indrajit struck Angada with his mace, but the monkey prince deftly grabbed it out of the Rakshas's hand and smashed it against his chariot. Jambumali pierced Hanuman with his spear, but then the son of Bayu jumped into the Rakshas's chariot and killed him with a violent slap. Nikumba pierced Nila with numerous arrows, but the monkey hero still managed to cut off the Rakshasa's head using a wheel from his broken chariot. Rama, Sugriva, and Nala killed numerous other Rakshasas, and the heroic army of monkeys inflicted heavy losses upon the enemy. During the fierce battle, headless trunks of Rakshasas and many monkeys alike were seen darting here and there, adding to the ghastliness of the battle scene. At night finally fell, the monkeys questioned those around them, asking, "Are you a monkey?" When someone was found to be an enemy, the monkeys attacked him with deadly enthusiasm. Throughout the fighting, both sides suffered heavy losses. Although the Rakshasas were more visible because of their golden armor, it was their nature to become enlivened at night. Thus the hordes of Rakshasas suddenly attacked Rama in the darkness with great enthusiasm, their loud roaring creating a tumultuous sound. With the giant monkey Golangula supporting him on one side and Jambavan's brother Dhruma on the other side, Rama pierced Mahaparsha, Mahadara, Shuka, Sarana, and 2 other Rakshasas with 6 golden arrows that brightly lit up the night. Then, as those 6 Rakshasas fled for their lives, Angada smashed Indrajit's chariot and killed his driver. Indrajit, who was also injured, abandoned his disabled chariot and vanished from view, while the demigods and rishis praised the monkey prince from their positions in the sky. Remaining invisible in the sky, the engaged Indrajit showered down arrows that took the form of serpents. Because of a benediction from Lord Brahma, the snake arrows immediately bound Rama and Lakshmana very tightly. Unable to move because of Indrajit's serpent arrow, Rama and Lakshmana dispatched 10 of the foremost monkeys headed by Angada, Nila, and Hanuman to search out Indrajit. However, as the monkeys sprang into the air, exploring in all directions, the invisible Indrajit pierced them with innumerable arrows. At the same time, he showered Rama and Lakshmana with so many arrows that blood flowed flowed profusely from wounds that completely covered their bodies. Indrajit announced, O Rama and Lakshmana, even Indra cannot see me. What do you speak of others? Now it will be my great pleasure to dispatch you both to the abode of Yamaraj with my unceasing torrents of sharp arrows. As Indrajit continued to assault Rama and Lakshmana, they became covered with wounds. There was not a single space large enough to place a finger where the arrows had not pierced him. Finally, Rama's bow fell from his hands and he fell to the ground, covered in his own blood. Lakshmana too swooned away, giving up all hope of survival. Seeing the terrible sight, the monkeys became despondent with tears in their eyes. As the leaders of the monkeys came to surround Rama and Lakshmana, Indrajit proclaimed to his followers, the two mighty brothers have fallen victim to my magical snake arrows, imbued with the power of Lord Brahma. Not even Indra and all the demigods could save Rama and Lakshmana now. The enlivened Rakshasas then shouted, Rama is dead! Indrajit has killed him single-handed! Convinced that Rama and Lakshmana were now dead, Indrajit departed for the place of Ravana, intoxicated by his apparent victory. Sugriva and Vibhishana then came to the spot where Rama and Lakshmana lay motionless. They were bathed in their own blood and barely breathed. Sugriva was especially pained to see the two brothers completely enmeshed in the serpentine arrows that covered them, and Vibhishana took special care to comfort him. While washing the tears from Sugriva's eyes, he said, O king, I know that Rama and Lakshmana can be revived. Rest assured, for they will not die. Please guard Rama carefully while I rally the army and restore the monkey to confidence. As the foremost monkeys guarded Rama and Lakshmana, Indrajit went to Ravana and proudly reported the news of his apparent victory. When Ravana heard that Rama and Lakshmana were slain, he jumped to his feet and lovingly embraced his son, saying, My dear boy, how did you accomplish this most difficult feat? Tell me everything. Indrajit replied, While remaining invisible in the sky, I first bound up Rama and Lakshmana with my serpentine arrows. Then I riddled them with countless sharp arrows. They are now lying lifeless on the ground, and the monkey warriors are giving up the fight out of hopelessness. Considering Rama and Lakshmana to be dead, Ravana gave up all fear and anxiety. After dismissing Indrajit, he called for the Rakshashis who guarded Sita. Confident that Sita would now submit to him, Ravana joyfully said, Rama and Lakshmana have been slain by my incomparable son Indrajit. I want you to immediately convey this news to Sita. Take her on the Pushpapak chariot so that she may see for herself how her husband is slain on the battlefield. After dismissing the Rakshashis, Ravana ordered the news of Indrajit's victory to be broadcast all over Lanka for the pleasure of the citizens. When the Rakshashis informed Sita of Rama's death, she immediately fell to the ground. She was sobbing uncontrollably, completely overcome by shock and grief. The Rakshashis helped her onto the Pushpaka chariot along with their leader Trijata, and within a moment they rose up high into the air. While flying over the battlefield, Sita could see many slain monkeys and Rakshasas. Then she suddenly beheld Rama and Lakshmana lying on the ground, surrounded by grieving monkeys. As Sita heard the Rakshasas rejoicing, she gazed upon Rama's arrow-riddled body, his bow lying beside him, and was unable to contain her grief. Wailing loudly, Sita began lamenting. Formerly learned Brahmanas, masters of astrology and palmistry, all assured me, O fortunate princess, you will bear sons and never suffer for becoming a widow. In the future you will become the queen of an illustrious king who will perform many great sacrifices. Now that Rama is dead, I can understand that they are all cheaters and liars. The Brahmanas assured me of my good fortune, describing my auspicious bodily features. They told me, O princess, you have fine dark hair, and your eyebrows are carved and separated. Your closely set teeth are even, and your rosy fingers and toes have no space between them. Your thighs are rounded, shapely, and hairless. Your ample breasts touch each other. Your navel is deep, your skin is soft, and your complexion is fair and brilliant. All of your toes touch the ground as you walk, and the soles of your feet are marked with auspicious signs of the lotus flower, indicating an exalted royal birth. Combined with your lotus petal eyes and gentle smile, all these symptoms indicate that the highest good fortune awaits you. Sita cried, Of what are these auspicious marks? Now that my husband is dead, with the drama my good fortune had ended. Trijata then approached Sita and saying, O princess, you may rest assured that Rama and Lakshmana are not dead, for this celestial chariot will not carry a widow. Look below, for even though the many monkeys are in the state of confusion, they continue to guard Rama and Lakshmana. What would be the necessity of guarding them if they were dead? Even from here I can see the luster remains in the faces of Rama and Lakshmana. Therefore, Sita, do not give way to unnecessarily grief. It is certain that your husband is still alive. Sita was slightly encouraged by Trijata's words and was then escorted back to the Ashoka grove, regardless, while thinking of her husband's desperate condition. Sita soon gave way to grief and despair. In the midst of the grief-stricken monkeys, Rama returned to consciousness upon seeing Lakshmana lying to his side, smeared with blood and without any sign of life. Rama exclaimed with anguish, "Even if I succeed in recovering Sita, the entire endeavor will be useless if Lakshmana dies. Even if it were possible to somehow find a consort to replace the daughter of Janaka, I could never find another friend such as Lakshmana. If Lakshmana dies, I too will give up my life, for I cannot bear to think of returning to Ayodhya without him. How could I ever face his mother after allowing him to die on the battlefield in my presence?" Turning to Sugriva, Rama said, "The monkey warriors should now retreat, for without Lakshmana and myself to protect them, they will be highly vulnerable. O noble king of the monkeys, please accept my unlimited gratitude for the sincere friendship and valor that you and your army have displayed, risking your lives in my service." All the monkeys began to cry upon hearing Rama's sweet words. Vibhishana then returned, having restored the monkeys' army's confidence. When Vibhishana saw how Rama and Lakshmana looked just like porcupines lying upon a bed of arrows, he immediately broke down and cried. Sugriva then embraced him, saying, "You should not doubt that Rama and Lakshmana will soon recover and go on to defeat Ravana in battle." Sugriva then went to his father-in-law Sushena, saying, "Please arrange for Rama and Lakshmana to be taken to Kishkinda, where they can safely recover from their wounds. Let all the monkeys accompany them while I remain here alone. After defeating Ravana single-handed, I will return to Kishkinda with Sita." Sushena replied, "Long ago, when there was a great war between the demigods and the demons were able to kill many of the celestial with their mystic illusions. Brihaspati, however, revived all the same demigods by using mantras and special medicinal herbs. I suggest that Panasha and Sampati go to the ocean of milk, for they are familiar with these herbs, known as Sanjivana Karani and Bishalya. Created by Lord Brahma himself, Sanjivana Karani can revive a person who is practically dead. Likewise, Bishalya instantly cures all wounds created by arrows. These herbs can be found on the Chandra and Drona mountains, which arose in the middle of the milk ocean as it was being churned to produce nectar. It is best for Hanuman to go, for he can make the journey in the shortest time." As Sushena spoke, a fierce wind began to blow, bringing dense clouds and streaks of lightning. The sea became agitated with high, swelling waves. The mountains began to tremble, and tall trees were knocked down. Everyone looked around, wondering why this was happening, and saw that disturbances were caused by the flight of a gigantic bird coming towards them. It was Garuda, the eagle carrier of Lord Vishnu. Upon seeing him, the snake arrows binding Rama and Lakshmana immediately fled. Garuda then came and wiped Rama and Lakshmana's faces with his hands, and by his touch alone their bodies began to shine and become redoubled in strength. Garuda picked Rama up and lovingly embraced him. In great happiness, Rama said, "We are both eternally indebted to you. If you consider us worthy, please reveal your identity to us." The gigantic bird replied, "I am your eternal servant Garuda, the son of Binata. All the demigods headed by Indra could not have raised you from the bondage of Indrajit's snake arrows. These snakes are the sons of Kadru and were converted into arrows by the mystic power Indrajit received from Lord Brahma. I came here just to chase them away, for snakes are my natural food and they are always afraid of me. My dear Lord, you should be very fearful while fighting with the Rakshasas. They are very tricky, whereas heroes like yourself are always straightforward. I now wish to take my leave. Before I depart, let me assure you that you shall be victorious and get back your beloved Sita." Garuda then circumambulated Rama, and after embracing him again, soared into the sky. Seeing that Rama and Lakshmana had recovered from their wounds, the monkeys jumped for joy in their ecstasy. They beat drums, lashed their tails, and roared like lions, thus creating a great tumult. Then, after taking up trees and great boulders, they again prepared to continue the fight. Hearing the joyful roaring of the monkeys, Ravana suspected Ravana again became filled with anxiety. His face turned pale, swelling with rage. He ordered the great Rakshasa warriors Dhumraksha to go immediately and attack Rama. After quickly mobilizing his army, Durmuksha mounted his donkey-drawn chariot. Laughing robustly and exhibiting great pride, he headed for the western gate where Hanuman had taken his stand. Okay, so we'll conclude it here. We'll resume the reading from tomorrow from 7:30 onwards in the temple hall. Please stay tuned. This is a offering for this MSF. So we have read till page number 377 up to the last paragraph, means like just before the last paragraph we ended here. Yeah, I'll just put it from. No, read from here as Durmuksha. Okay. Okay, thank you. श्यापति रामचंद्र की जय, श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्रीमान महाप्रभु की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान